now.
Well, crazy to think that we've already reached the elimination portion of the season, but here we are. Win or go home. You guys have a big game coming up with Rock Creek, and when you have a chance to scout the Mustangs on film, what are some of the biggest things that stand out to you right away, just about the way that they play?
No, they're extremely athletic. They're well coached. They react well to their...
All right. Microphone check, 1 2 1 2. Check, 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 1 2 1 2. Check, check, 1 2 1 2. 25 20, 35 30, 45 40. Check, 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 1 2 1 2. I don't think that's going to peak. I think we're good. And then we'll test this here.
Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is your home field advantage. Our physicians include sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with orthopedic surgeons Drs. Travis Rump and Todd Riley, plus an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists. We're ready when you need us to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. For area athletes to weekend warriors, the home field advantage starts at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports.
Well, for anybody joining us here early, we'll have pregame for you here in just about 9 minutes. The pregame show begins at 6:40 Central here on the Salina Post Sports Network.
It's time for your Game of the Week, brought to you by Eagle Communications and Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine. And now with your pregame and play-by-play, here's Tyler Henry.
Well, the chill of winter is upon us, and elimination football is in the air as the Rock Creek Mustangs get set to host the Chapman Fighting Irish in a Week 9 win-or-go-home game. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside the broadcast booth here at The Rock in St. George, Kansas. I'm Tyler Henry. So good to have you alongside as we've got a good one on our hands. A battle of opposing philosophies. A Chapman team that wants to keep the ball on the ground, a Rock Creek team that wants to throw it around in the air. Who comes out on top on a chilly afternoon, or rather a chilly evening here? 47 degrees. We will find out here in just about 20 minutes. Coming up next on the pregame show, we'll have conversation with head coach Shane Sieben of the Rock Creek Mustangs. Also, visit with Kurt Webster, the head coach of the Chapman Fighting Irish. That's next here on the pregame show. And again, you are watching and listening to coverage of our Salina Regional Game of the Week.
Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is your home field advantage. Our physicians include sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with orthopedic surgeons Drs. Travis Rump and Todd Riley, plus an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists. We're ready when you need us to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. For area athletes to weekend warriors, the home field advantage starts at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
Welcome back in here on the pregame show. It's the Salina Regional Game of the Week, the first playoff edition here in Week 9, and we've got a good one for you between the Chapman Fighting Irish and the Rock Creek Mustangs. Joining us now is Kurt Webster, the head coach of the Fighting Irish. And Coach, first and foremost, thank you so much for taking some time and coming on the pregame show today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me on.
So before we get too deep into the matchup, I was curious, if you take the regular season as a whole, kind of starting with the positive, what would you say has kind of been the best thing that you've seen out of your team so far this year?
Just our response to adversity. We've had a lot of injuries, and we've worked through a lot of different things, and I think we're playing our best football right now, which is always what you want to do. And we've just been very, very resilient, and I'm proud of our team for doing that.
Well, and certainly reflective in these last couple of games. You win 2 of your last 3 with Wichita Trinity and Clearwater, but I was curious, what is kind of the biggest area that you still want to see your team take another step in to get to the next level now that we're in the playoffs?
Yeah, we just gotta play cleaner. We've had a lot of penalties, and we fumbled it a lot earlier in the year. We're getting better at that, but we've still turned it over. We just got to play more clean, and that comes with experience. And we're, a lot of those backs now that are younger. We don't have a senior in the backfield, but now they've all played, 8 games, and they're different players than they were at the beginning of the year. So we just got to continue to harp on playing smart and playing clean.
Well, and that leads me right into my next question. I was curious because when I had a chance to watch Kalen Groover, you can see the flashes of what this kid has from a talent perspective. He's only a sophomore, though. Making his start as quarterback this season, where have you kind of seen his develop the most, not only as a passer, but also just as a leader out there as a sophomore?
Yeah, he's a great decision maker, and he's gotten better with that as the years gone on, and he's just more familiar with things. It's hard for us to explain to a kid what it's going to be like when he's running option and it's live and in a game, or dropping back and throwing balls and it's live. But now that he's had that experience of seeing it and seeing how fast the game's played at the varsity level, he's done a fantastic job of adjusting and settling in. Like you said, he's only a sophomore, so he's got 2 more great years of development. And he played a lot as a freshman on the basketball team, and I think that's helped him, quickly adapt to the speed of a varsity football game.
I know that the untrained eye might look at your schedule and see a 4-game losing streak in there, but you guys faced a gauntlet. I mean, Clay Center, Abilene, Wichita Collegiate, all teams that have at one point or another been ranked according to K-Preps in the top 5. How do you feel like those teams and those opponents have kind of helped you guys to prepare and get stronger here for this postseason push?
Yeah, absolutely. We played like you said, a stretch of 3 really, really good teams, and we were competitive with all of them early. I mean, we were 6-6 with Collegiate at halftime and 13-6 going in the fourth quarter, and then it kind of got away from us. But those games let you know that you can play with the best teams in the state, and you just, like you said, we just have to play clean and play with confidence and attack. And I think that stretch of games has definitely made us stronger and built us up to where we are now.
Well, crazy to think that we've already reached the elimination portion of the season, but here we are. Win or go home. You guys have a big game coming up with Rock Creek, and when you have a chance to scout the Mustangs on film, what are some of the biggest things that stand out to you right away, just about the way that they play?
They're extremely athletic. They're well coached. They react well to their keys. They're clever with what they do offensively and defensively, and they play hard, and you can tell why they've had success this year. We're gonna have to be keyed up and know our assignments and really attack well and react well to what they like to do.
Well, this game will have kind of an interesting contrast in philosophies. Obviously, Chapman for the longest time has leaned on the run. You guys have been kind of a traditional power run style of offense. This is a Rock Creek team that's not afraid to throw it around, and that's been reflected in their numbers this season. What are going to be the biggest keys for your defense, especially in the pass rush and the secondary, to try to contain that Rock Creek passing game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, you just have to play assignment sound and be responsible and have your eyes in the right place. They do a great job with giving you a bunch of different looks and window dressing, and really their read and their concept is something that might not be as complex. They're just trying to execute it really well, which they do a great job of. So keeping our eyes in the right place, understanding how to tackle in space and where our leverage needs to be on the football. That's how you slow them down. But they do a fantastic job, and they'll have a new look, a new wrinkle ready for us, and we'll just have to adjust and make sure our eyes are in the right place.
Kind of on the flip side of the matchup, I mean, what are going to be the biggest keys for your offense, and more specifically, where do you see the kind of the strengths of this Rock Creek defensive end?
I mean, they're physical up front. They're long on their ends. Their sophomore inside backer is a great player. They have rangy secondary players that are athletic and have good ball skills. We're going to have to be physical up front, and we're going to have to move the line of scrimmage. And if we can move the line of scrimmage and establish our option game early, we're going to have to do some things to trick their eyes and then get downhill and establish our fullback.
Well, and speaking of establishing your fullback and really the running game as a whole, I mean, I know that, one of the advantages to running the ball as much as what you guys do, it can really eat up clock. How critical of a role do you feel like time of possession might play in a game like this?
Yeah, that'll be extremely crucial. I mean, last week versus Clearwater, we ate almost the whole second quarter. And, when we played them in 2020, I believe it was, we ate a whole quarter of clock. And so, yeah, that'll be the best way to keep their athletes from making plays is to keep them off the field. So, there's no secret for what we're trying to do, and that's establish our fullback and run the football, and then take advantage of play action and perimeter plays. But the ability to control the tempo of the game is extremely important to us.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thank you again so much for your time. Best of luck to your Irish tonight.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Once again, that was Kurt Webster, the head coach of the Chapman Fighting Irish. We'll step away, but when we come back, countdown to kickoff rolls on. It's the Salina Post Game of the Week, and it's right here on the Salina Post Sports Network.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
Welcome back in here on Countdown to Kickoff. It's our Salina Regional Game of the Week, and it's the Rock Creek Mustangs set to play host to the Chapman Fighting Irish. We are joined now by Shane Sieben, the head coach of the Rock Creek Mustangs. And Coach, first and foremost, thank you so much for taking some time and coming on the pregame show today.
Thank you, Tyler.
So before we get too far into it, I was curious, if you take this 8-game regular season as kind of one big package deal, what would you say has been the best thing that you've seen out of your team so far in 2023?
More than anything, just our guys learning to come together and play for each other and not care about who gets the glory, who gets the stats, and just wanting to do everything they can to win and just playing together. That's the biggest thing that I think they've learned. We were young coming into this year, and I think that's the toughest thing you deal with young guys is they're worried about their stats and they're worried about them. And our kids have started to mature and understand that if they just do their job, everything will take care of itself in the end.
You guys come into the postseason here at 5-3. You've won 3 of your last 4 games here down the home stretch. But I was curious, what are some areas where you're looking to take kind of even another step to find a new gear come playoff time?
Just being assignment sound. That's the biggest thing for us is continue to be assignment sound and improve and play every snap, win each snap. For us, it's just been about consistency and improving consistency. So just trying to get better and see how consistent we can be.
I know at the end of the day, you want to go out and win every single game, but you guys faced down a gauntlet this season. Southeast of Saline, Silver Lake, Clay Center, a couple of really tough games, had 2 of those on the road. I was curious, how do you feel that your schedule has kind of prepared you for this postseason, and do you like having those kinds of challenges throughout the course of the year?
Yeah, we've had a tough schedule since I've been here, and I can't say that when you're preparing for those teams, you certainly aren't looking forward to it. But at the same time, when you get to the playoff time, you're battle tested. You've learned a lot about your team, and you know your strengths and weaknesses, and you know where you've got to play well. And we feel like we got to that point again this year, and we've had to make some changes along the way. But we feel that the schedule has definitely prepared us for the postseason, and you take some lumps as you go. But it's what we needed, and it's helped us become a better team.
One thing that I've loved about the Rock Creek culture in these 2 years that I've had a chance to cover your program, and you talked about it earlier in this interview as well, you said that you look at this team, there's not one superstar that they're going to lean on. How big has that level of selflessness been for you guys in kind of the success that you found this season?
Yeah, it's truly the reason for our success and getting our kids to trust each other and trust the system. And if they just take care of their business and do the right thing, then good things are going to happen and their time will be called. I think that was the toughest thing, getting these young guys to understand. But they figured that out. We're blocking for one another. And we've really tried to pride ourselves and preach that what you do without the ball really tells us how much you love your teammates. And our kids have kind of bought into that, and they started to play for each other.
5-3 is kind of one of those records that going into the postseason, you never really know where you're going to end up. But when the brackets came out and you guys saw that you had this game, coming up at the Rock, how hyped are the guys for a chance to play in front of a home crowd one last time here?
That was what we really sold last week going into our last district game against Concordia, coming off a loss against Clay, was play for the right to play at home. Give our seniors another chance to play at home, and that helped keep our guys focused last week, and our kids really cared about our seniors and really wanted to give them that experience. So being able to play at home is great. You don't want to hit the road at this point in the season. You're going to have tough games no matter what. You want to play at home as long as you can. So getting the chance to play at home one more time is good, especially when you're playing somebody as good as Chapman is, and we know we got our work cut out for us. So any little advantage we can get, we definitely want to have.
Well, let's go ahead and get into this matchup with Chapman. Obviously, it's winter go home time at this point in the season, and when you have a chance to scout the Irish on film, what are kind of the biggest things that stand out to you right away about the way that they play?
physicality. They're big up front. O-line and D-line are both really good. We saw them at our Jamboree this year as well. They came over here, so we've seen it. We know how physical they can be. We know how big they are up front, and that's the biggest thing that jumps out to you on film. Is number one, how well coached they are. Coach Webster does a phenomenal job, and then B, just how physical they are up front, how big they are.
I know that there are a lot of teams in the state that, they're running as a preference. In Chapman, it seems more like kind of a way of life year in and year out. When you face a team that runs the ball as much as they do, I mean, what are the biggest keys for your defense to kind of contain that and to make sure you guys keep a hat on a hat for however many minutes?
Yeah, I think just understanding, again, it's a flexbone team, and this is, I think, the 5th time that we've seen flexbone this year. So when you face the flexbone, you face option teams, you have to be disciplined. You have to do your job. So for us, that's the most important thing is being guy sound and knowing your keys, and staying true to your keys, and just doing your job and being assignment sound, because they can beat you in a number of ways in it, and it's not one guy, it's not one running back that you can zone in on. It's really all 4 of them, with the quarterback, the fullback, and the 2 slots that are all very talented. And again, with the line that they have, you're going to have to be really good and play with great pad level.
Well, and we know that, with any team that likes to run the football, they want to try to extend out drives. They want to try to keep your explosive offense and playmakers off the field. I mean, how critical do you feel like time of possession is in a game like this, and how big is it to try to get off the field early and often with your defense?
Yeah, I think first and foremost is the turnover battle. You've got to win the turnover battle against a team that wants to keep the ball out of your hands, and we know that's what they're going to do. We've kind of seen that against the flexbone teams that we have faced this year. Is they're going to try to run that clock and keep the ball out of your hands and slow the game down. And if you can get a turnover too early on and get a couple quick scores, all of a sudden that changes the complexion of the game. So for us, it's really about winning that turnover battle and just finding a way to get a couple stops early on, especially, and then just continue to do your job and be assignment sound.
Well, once again, you guys have done a good job on your offensive side of things, not only taking care of the football, but also spreading it out really evenly. That was something that made you really dangerous a season ago as well. And I was curious, coming into this game, what would you say is kind of the strength of this offense? What makes it difficult for teams to game plan for you?
Very similar to last year. We don't have an Ethan Burgess that we're going to throw it to for 1,000-some yards, but we've got a number of kids that can beat you through the air, and Dagan Meduska has been a 3-year starter for us out there at receiver, and Brandon Cranwell's back as a starting receiver. Eli Bell has really stepped up and been a big threat at the receiving spot as well. So, we really have about 4 threats at receiver, and then our running back, Drew Becker's come along as well. So, just being able to have different threats and different guys that can beat you has been the biggest thing for us. That way we can kind of play the matchup game and figure out a matchup we like. And it's really tough to cover that many guys.
When you scout the Irish defensively, what are kind of the biggest things that stand out to you about Chapman on that side of the ball, and what are the keys for your offense to make sure you kind of get rolling here early and often in this game?
First and foremost is that D-line. Langvart's an absolute dude, and then Masterley is as well. So you've got 2 guys up front, and then Griffiths as well, the defensive end, when 3 of your 4 defensive linemen are really good, and then the 4th guy is good as well. So all 4 D linemen are very solid. And then the back end, you've got a couple good corners and safeties as well that can play. And really like the way that number 5 plays. Haney, pretty good little fullback there. Then the Souther kid's a really good athlete on the back end. So they've just got really good playmakers at different levels, and they tackle well.
Well, Coach, I know we've talked about some of the offensive keys, some of the defensive keys, but when you kind of break it down as an overall package deal, what are the biggest keys to the game? What does Rock Creek have to do to pick up a big home win and survive and advance here in the 3A playoffs?
Win the turnover battle first and foremost, and then just be able to get off the field and on those 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4s, you'll be able to find stops when we get those big stops when we need to get off the field, and then capitalize in the red zone if we get in the red zone.
Sounds good. Well, Coach, thank you again for your time. Best of luck to your Mustangs tonight.
Thanks, Tyler.
All right. Once again, that was Shane Steven, head coach of the Rock Creek Mustangs. We will step away, but when we come back, it's the opening kick and your game of the week, win or go home, between Chapman and Rock Creek, and it's right here on the Salina Post Sports Network.
This October, the Zombies are coming to Elite Sports Paintball Complex, and we need to prepare now. Here's what you should know. There will be a limited number of people each night for the Zombie Expedition. The best way to secure your spot for the upcoming Zombie Expedition is to reserve your space now. Don't miss out. We need your help in fighting zombies. Tickets are available right now.
2023 Ram Heavy Duties are the trucks you go to work with. And right now, new Ram Heavy Duty trucks have a $2,250 rebate. 2023 Ram 1500 trucks are some of the highest rated trucks on the market. New Ram 1500s are up to $9,000 off. See more with Ram Power Days at MarshallMotor.com. And the monster trucks are back in Salina Saturday, October 7th at Marshall Motors in Salina.
And now back to more football action with your Game of the Week, presented by Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine. Here's Tyler Henry.
And with that, I want to welcome you back inside here at The Rock. Tyler Henry, Olivia Bergmeyer, as we are just moments away from the opening kick here. It'll be the Chapman Fighting Irish to return the Rock Creek Mustangs, set to put the defense on the field first in a win-or-go-home Week 9 matchup from the Rock here in St. George. Rock Creek comes out in it's got to be one of the best looks I've seen from a jersey perspective. All blacks, white numerals, white stripes across the shoulder pads. Meanwhile, for Chapman, it's the all-white jerseys, green numerals, green pants, and green helmets for the Irish. So glad to have you with us. Once again, a win-or-go-home Week 9 matchup, and we've got it for you right here on our Salina Post Game of the Week. And teeing this up is Jackson Pendel of the Rock Creek Mustangs, back deep to return. It's Ian Souther and Andre Miles for the Chapman Fighting Irish. Pendel will put one hand in the air here on a chilly November evening, and the high school football playoffs are underway as it is a booming kick through the back of the end zone, and that will bring the Chapman offense onto the field, and let's meet them. Classic, old-school, heavy-run triple option. That's what you can expect out of a Chapman team that comes in as the 8th-ranked rushing offense in the state of Kansas in Class 3A. Kalen Groover is your sophomore starting quarterback. He has really a stable of backs that you'll see used throughout the course of this game, but they are led by Brecken Francis, Cade Haney, Dakota Curtis, and Cooper Lewis. Your wide receiving corps will consist of Ian Souther, Andre Miles, and Cameron Krogman, and we will meet the offensive line after this first down and 10 play. It's a quick give on the outside. That's Cade Haney, and he finds absolutely nothing. Rock Creek's defense was keen to it, but really quickly, let's meet the offensive line here. For your Chapman Fighting Irish, from left to right, it'll be Talon Landerville, Dean Wildman, Kendon Blacketer, Weston Langvard, and DJ Messerly. Meanwhile, on the defensive end of things, Cade Welfringer, Mason Faith, Malachi Bell, and Corday Kirksey are your starting defensive linemen. The linebacking core consists of Tristan Meyer, Ezra Spiller, and Peyton McCarn. Your corners today are Hunter Prakash and Dawson Rankin, and your safeties are Dagan Vinduska and Carson Toburin. Second down and 10 after really no gain on the first down try, and once again you see Chapman, they want to go to the ground, but Rock Creek's been pretty good about defending that so far this season, and with that, we want to welcome in the second member of our broadcast team, Olivia Bergmeyer. And Olivia, first and foremost, great to have you with us.
It's great to be here. I'm so excited to be out here tonight on this chilly night and here to watch this game and get some good football in.
Finally feels like November football. We're still a little ways away, about a week to go before we officially cross it off on the calendar, but this feels like playoff weather. And Chapman looking to get something going here on a 3rd down and 9. It'll be a toss on the option on the outside. That's well blocked. They've got a lane now out to the 30, up to the 35, and pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line. But that is a huge gain for Dakota Curtis, and that will help Chapman move the chains here on this opening drive. Call it a 19-yard gain. And you see there on the edge, Olivia, just great blocking on the outside to set up that long run.
It was. He got all the way out there on the edge and was able to make a great yard gain through that.
Sets him up here at about the 39-yard line. That is where the drive will resume for Chapman. Again, they want to keep things on the field for as much as they can. The best sometimes the best defense is a good offense. As the snap comes back here to Langvard, or rather to Groover, he wants to fire it out, and it's going to be, I believe, caught and then dropped. And I was a little surprised they didn't call for an incompletion there. See what the official ruling is. I think they are, in fact, going to back him up, and that's a huge loss.
That is a large yard loss there on that play.
That is going to be, that's a good 12-yard loss on the play for Rock Creek, or rather for Chapman. And I'll tell you what, they had themselves in a pretty good spot, but you make the catch, you drop it, you get wrapped up and brought down that far behind the line of scrimmage. And now an offense that wants to play 3 yards in a cloud of dust is going to have a lot of room to make up here on a 2nd down and 22. Snap back once again. They'll try to toss it. This one is going to have to be covered up on the backside again. Chapman continues to go in the wrong direction. And that was Dakota Curtis. And the wheels have just completely come off on this drive for Chapman. Sometimes the pressure of a playoff atmosphere can get to you. So that's going to put them down at their own 19-yard line. It is 3rd and 34.
They're going to have a long way to go after that play, so we'll see what they can make out of this.
Back-to-back plays that see the Irish go backwards. You got to give some credit to the Rock Creek defense, but at the same time, a lot of self-inflicted injury here as a delayed handoff. Yeah, that's going absolutely nowhere. They wanted to get it to Dakota Curtis, but it was read well, and Cade Welfringer was not letting anything past him. And that'll bring the punting unit onto the field here for the Irish. Not the first drive that they were hoping for, and now they're going to have a tall task on defense. It's Ben Griffiths, the punter for Chapman, back to kick this deep. Trevor Christensen and Dawson Rankin for Rock Creek, each standing back at their own 50-yard line, and that's where they are hoping to field this punt, and it's a high snap. Boy, fortunate that Chapman was able to get a hand on that, although the short punt's going to take a friendly bounce for the homestanding Rock Creek Mustangs, and they will put their offense on the field. And let's go ahead and meet the offense here for Rock Creek. Mac Lee is the straw that stirs the drink. He's your 5'11" junior quarterback this season, 80 for 129. He's completing 62% of his passes, over 1,000 yards passing, 11 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. That's been critical in their success this season. Your wide receiving core consists of Dagan Vinduska, Brandon Cranebill, Eli Bell, and Trevor Christensen. And your top running back is Drew Becker, 83 carries for 365 yards. He lines up behind Lee in the pistol set. They want to go to the air here on first down. They've got a wide open Brandon Cranebill and just could not find him. And Olivia, that had touchdown written all over it if he was able to haul it in.
It did. He could have taken that all the way down the field possibly on a drive like that. So would have been great to see, but.
Sets up 2nd down and 10. And really quickly, let's meet the offensive line here for your Rock Creek Mustangs. From left to right, Mason Faith, Corday Kirksey, Malachi Bell, Tristan Meyer, and Wade Rottinghouse as they go 5 wide here. 3 receivers split out to the left-hand side. Here's the snap. Receiver comes in motion. They will give it on the end around. That's Eli Bell, who's got a first down and more. He'll work his way up to about the 28-yard line, and there you see Rock Creek's ability to stretch the field, really putting some strain on this Chapman defense early. Speaking of the Chapman defense, let's quickly meet that unit. Your defensive line consists of DJ Messerly, Weston Langbart, Michael Shipman, and Ben Griffiths. Your linebacking core is Ian Sayers, Cade Haney, and Ryan Clark. Your corners are Ian Souther and Andre Miles, and your safeties are Dakota Curtis and Cooper Lewis. Back in the shotgun here goes Mac Lee. 2 receivers split out to either side. He'll take the snap on a first down and 10. Fire it out left sideline. That's caught, hauled in at the 19-yard line, and now up to about the 18. It's another productive play for Rock Creek, and the catch is made there by Trevor Christensen. Sets up a first down and 10 just inside the red zone here. 7:51 left to go, first quarter, still early on in this one. Rock Creek, though, already on the march, well within striking distance. Mac Lee sends a man in motion. That's Christensen from right to left. Again, he has Drew Becker lined up for company in the backfield. Here's the option toss out to Becker. He's got green grass, looking for a cut-up lane. There it is. Touchdown, Rock Creek. Boy, too easy for Drew Becker on a little toss option on the outside. And read perfectly by Mac Lee as it's the Mustangs on the board first. PAT unit on here to try and make this a 7-0 lead. It'll be Jackson Pendell to try it. Good snap, good hold. Kick is on the way. And the kick is good. So we will step away for 30 seconds, but when we come back, it'll be Chapman with the football trying to overcome a 7-0 deficit. Again, you're tuning in to the Salina Regional Game of the Week.
Are you looking to buy or sell real estate? With 10 years of experience serving Northeast Kansas from Abilene to Wamego, leave it to a professional. Call Kirsten Ross, realtor and owner with Homefront Real Estate Group. Buying a home, whether it be your first time or second time, is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll make in a lifetime. Therefore, finding the right agent to help you make the process easier is essential. Kirsten Ross is there for you and your family every step of the way. Visit rosshouses.com and go Irish.
16 yards, the touchdown run for Drew Becker, and it gets Rock Creek on the scoreboard with 7:30 to go. And tell you what, you look at what Rock Creek wanted to do coming into this game, that was it, a lightning strike of an opening drive, and they find themselves in the driver's seat up by 7. So it's 3 plays, 7 points, and an early 7-0 Mustang lead as they will kick this short. It'll be hauled in by an up man at the 20 for Chapman, and they will wrap him up and drag him down at about the 30-yard line. And Olivia, you saw it in action on that first drive. This is a Chapman team. They need to keep themselves in manageable situations. You can't get behind the sticks in 3rd and 30. I mean, most teams don't have a play in the playbook for that.
Right. So they've got to get down the field with their consistent drives as they make plays and continue to gain yardage. It'll be critical for them throughout the rest of the game.
Well, when we talk about 3 yards in a cloud of dust, I mean, that really is what this offense is designed to do. You don't want to break off a 30-yard run. It's great if you do, but at the end of the day, you're trying to grind this defense into powder.
Right, and they want to keep the time on the field. They want to run out that clock and use it to their advantage.
Here's a toss on 1st and 10, bouncing this to the outside, now looking for a cutback lane and finding his way up to about the 37, about the 38-yard line is Dakota Curtis. But this is what we're talking about, just finding ways to go forward. Now instead of a 2nd and 10, you're looking at 2nd and 5, and this is what Chapman does so well. They're very meticulous about the way they run the football.
Right. They haven't changed the way they do football in a long time, and this is the kind of plays they want to see in tonight's game.
Rock Creek's defense has been good so far this season. You take a look at the numbers. They are 13th in Class 3A in terms of points allowed per game, giving up just 18 a contest, and a lot of those came in their 3 losses to some very good opponents. 2nd down and 5 here for Kalen Groover and company. He'll take the snap, give it here to the up man. There's a crease and a lane up to the 50 to the 45, and it is a solid run there for somebody new. Actually, that's Groover taking it himself, and you don't see that a ton. Look at the quarterback's numbers this year. He does have 45 carries, only 237 yards, but he's still an option in the run game as well.
He definitely is, and he proved it just right there.
And you see, I mean, I kind of fell asleep on it. The Rock Creek defense kind of fell asleep on it, and now Chapman's looking at 1st and 10.
It seems like it.
Nose of the football set down right now at the 45-yard line. It's Rock Creek on the defensive here. Chapman working their way into Mustang territory, down 7-0. 6:11 to play, first quarter. Back under center goes Kalen Groover. Again, triple option is the look. He'll take the snap. They want to go to the air. He'll step up. Now he's flushed out of the pocket, just has to tuck it and run himself, and he is going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. Groover, from what we heard from Coach, I mean, he is very talented, but you still got to remember, he's only a sophomore back there at quarterback, and you see there he elects to tuck it and run rather than trying to hang tough in the pocket.
Right, and for that inexperience, it seems like that's working for him so far, so...
Certainly the quarterback of the future for this team, and they've been more and more comfortable letting him throw the football around throughout the course of the season. But for a sophomore, he stands in there at 6'1". Size really isn't the issue for him. And you've seen him kind of lean on those guys throughout the course of the season. Around him, Dakota Curtis, Brecken Francis, Cade Haney, and Cooper Lewis, and they've had to in the absence of Aiden Whitley. 2nd down and 7 coming up here. Snap back, and they'll keep it with the quarterback again. This time he's going nowhere. Boy, Ezra Spiller read that, and it's a fumble. It's picked up by Rock Creek. They're taking it the other way. Down to the 30, now across to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown. And a massive fumble recovery taken all the way back by Eli Bell is going to put the Mustangs back on the board. It's a 13-0 lead.
Big celebrations there at the end after that touchdown. I could see how it's so exciting.
Eli Bell, head on a swivel. It was Ezra Spiller who came through first and just blasted Kalen Groover. It was scooped up by the cornerback. Bell took it the distance. And that is a disastrous 60-yard fumble return for a touchdown for the Irish. So another PAT attempt coming up here. Good snap, good hold. The kick is, boy, that might have gotten a hand on it. It's off the crossbar and no good. So it's a 13-0 lead for the Rock Creek Mustangs. They are up big here with 5:44 left to go opening quarter. We'll step away for 30. Back after this here on the Salina Post Sports Network.
Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is your home field advantage. Our physicians include sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with orthopedic surgeons Drs. Travis Rump and Todd Riley, plus an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists. We are ready when you need us to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. For area athletes to weekend warriors, the home field advantage starts at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
Back here on the Salina Post Sports Network, Tyler Henry alongside Olivia Bergmeyer, and boy, just a lightning strike of a touchdown there for the Rock Creek Mustangs. It was really starting to look like a decent drive for Chapman, but that's a killer. I mean, anytime you give up a touchdown to the defense, that really takes the wind out of your sails.
No, definitely, and trying to get back down the field just the next time is going to be harder, but we'll see how the Chapman offense takes it from here.
They are going to have to string together another good drive. Again, they were on the march. They were doing exactly what they wanted to do, found their way inside Rock Creek territory, but yeah, just a big hit, a big fumble, and an even bigger return. They'll have a chance to field this, though, back at their own goal line, and we'll see if they can't find a little special teams magic of their own. Boy, there's just nothing to speak of, as still running the wrong way. Now back to his own 2-yard line goes, I believe, Andre Miles, and that is where Chapman is going to set up shop. If you want to keep your offense on the field, generally it's because you want to run the clock when you have the lead. But the problem now for Chapman becomes this is not an offense that is designed to come back from being down 2 scores like this.
Right. It's going to be a difficult time for them to come back and then be able to hold that time in their favor.
Chapman, you look at their schedule so far this season. Again, they come into this at 3-5. Got a narrow win over Concordia, a decimating win over Wichita Trinity, and then a strong win over Clearwater. But in all 3 of those games, they found themselves up early on. Here's a 1st down and 10 snap taken up the middle, and that'll find maybe a yard. But I'll tell you what, right now you can really see it. Rock Creek, I mean, they know what's coming, and they know to expect the run, and they're really loading the box here early.
Exactly. They've got a lot of guys packed in there to try to stunt those runs early before they start making headway down that field.
Time continues to tick here. 5:11 to go, first quarter. Again, a 13-0 Rock Creek lead. They got on the board with a 16-yard touchdown run by Becker, and then, of course, the 60-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown, courtesy of Eli Bell. Personnel changes here for the Irish, who are now looking at 2nd down and 8. They will duck under center again here with Groover. He'll take the snap. It is a run to the left side, and we've got a whistle and a flag, and we'll have to check the laundry. That's the other thing that you can't afford if you're Chapman right now is penalties.
Definitely, because that is negative yardage, and when you need to make it down the field, that can be a really big impact on your game.
Well, and already backed up close to their own end zone, the last thing you want to do is start taking snaps in your own end zone. Now you're at risk of a safety.
Definitely.
See what this call is, though, as our white hat is still conferring. It looks like, though, they're going to move the football back. And, yeah, it's going to be a hold against Chapman. That'll be half the distance to the goal. So, like you said, Olivia, they go backwards here. It stays 2nd down, but now you're right back where you started at about the 3-yard line.
Exactly, and that's tough to come back from.
Not really a situation where you want to be airing the ball out, especially not with as infrequently as what Chapman throws the ball around. Again, their quarterback, 45 carries this season, only 62 passing attempts coming into this one. And 4:33 left to go here in the opening quarter. Rock Creek is certainly feeling it here early. See what they've got in store here, though. Again, that triple option running offense back on the field here for Chapman. It is a snap that's taken back in the end zone. And that's fumbled again. I had a hard time seeing if that was a fumble or a tackle. It is, in fact, a fumble recovered in the end zone for a touchdown. That is the second fumble recovery for 6 today. And Rock Creek's defense now with 13 points already.
19.
Unbelievable stuff here early on. You do not see that very often. And it was an interesting play design, but Chapman, you get the feeling, might just be in their own head a little bit in this game.
Rock Creek has had an explosive start, so I could see how it might impact the effectivity of the Chapman offense.
They're going to go for 2 here as they will fire a little comebacker screen. No, it was a double pass play, and it's incomplete. So the 2-point conversion is no good. But the score remains firmly in control of the Mustangs. 19-0 is their early advantage over Chapman. Back with more in 30 here on the Salina Regional Game of the Week.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
Welcome back in here to the Rock in St. George. Tyler Henry, Olivia Bergmeyer, and boy, for as much as we hyped up the Rock Creek offense, they've only been on the field once. They've only needed to be on the field once. Their defense has gotten them 2 touchdowns.
Right. I mean, when you have a defense that picks up those fumbles from Chapman, I mean, you don't have a whole lot of time for the offense to get on the field.
See what happens here. 4:13 to go. I mean, if you're Chapman, you just get the sense. You find a way to score here, this game may very well be over. And they are going to let this take a bounce into the end zone. It will be a touchback. And at the very least, they'll have a little bit of room to breathe. That last drive was seemingly set up for failure from the beginning. Anytime you start a drive at your own 2-yard line, you're going to have a tough time, even if you're not playing a defense as good as Rock Creek's.
There's just too far to go, so it's definitely a challenge to get that offense down the field after you're 2 yards from your own end zone.
Here they will have it at their own 20-yard line. Again, this is about where they started the one drive that it looked awfully promising. I mean, they were moving the football well. They got to the 40, but they fumbled it away. And let's not forget, they have put the ball on the deck already 4 times in this game. Twice it was recovered. Twice they got back on it. Kalen Groover sends a man in motion. That's Cooper Lewis, left to right. They will give it to him. He'll plunge ahead and find about 4 yards. And you see it there on first down. I mean, when you've got time to sit back and be a little bit comfortable, they've been able to move the ball relatively well on the ground. But at the end of the day, the one thing you can't have is another turnover.
Definitely. You've got to keep it going in your favor down the other way of the field.
Here they've got it at about the 25-yard line. 3:45 to go, still early in this game, still in the first quarter. Just as a reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll get you a look around at our Salina Surgical Hospital area scoreboard. Plenty of other action going on as 32 teams competing in each division of high school football. Here it is a quick give on the right side. That goes nowhere, but it's an interesting wrinkle in high school football. I mean, it doesn't really matter what your record is. Very few teams across the state of Kansas do not play in a bracket game in Week 9, and at the end of the day, no matter what your record is coming in, you've got a chance to play spoiler. You win, you advance, no matter what you came in with. So after another short gain, it will set up 3rd down and 3 for the Chapman Fighting Irish. Kalen Groover back out under center. One receiver split out wide to either side. Here is a toss to the left. That goes to Dakota Curtis. Curtis now breaks it up to the 40. He's got room across the 50. Still looking to go to the 35 and finally pushed out of bounds at the 31-yard line. A huge gain for Dakota Curtis, who takes that ball from the 25 of his own side all the way out to the Rock Creek 30. And
those teammates really led the way for him to get through that defensive line and make that large gain for Chapman.
Well, and good blocking downfield. You saw it there. You got receivers out there pushing safeties around. I mean, it wasn't just at the line of scrimmage. They blocked that well across the board.
Definitely.
2:47 to go, first quarter. Chapman in Rock Creek territory for the second time today. Again, the first time they got down here, they fumbled it away, and it was returned for a touchdown. One of 2 defensive touchdowns already in this game. Cooper Lewis is the motion man, left to right. Here is a quick give, and actually I believe that might have been a keeper. And he's going absolutely nowhere. And you can just tell this Rock Creek defense, they smell blood in the water. They're still going for punch-outs and looking for ways to force more fumbles here.
They're really trying to get Chapman to stop advancing forward here.
Time continues to tick down here. 2:23 left to go, opening quarter. All Rock Creek so far. Second down and 10 coming up here for Groover and company. Once again, Curtis and Lewis are the 2 slot backs. Lewis, the man in motion. Here is a fake give. It's a quarterback keeper. It's going nowhere as Mason Faith just got a bear paw on Kalen Groover and dragged him down. He had no shot there, and now it's 3rd down and 10. High school football postseason also means some weird Thursday games, some 6 o'clock kickoffs, a couple of games happening this morning. Keep you up to date on all the happenings on that on our Salina Surgical Hospital area scoreboard. Here it's 3rd down and 9 for the Fighting Irish. Groover back under center here. Looking to pick this up. Once again, Lewis, the man in motion. He'll take the snap. They want to go to the air. Fire it out. It's picked off. Intercepted by the safety over the middle. Now looking for a big return. Looking for blockers down the sideline. And finally pushed out of bounds. But guess who? It's Eli Bell. His 2nd turnover of the day. And for the first time since the opening drive, it'll be the Rock Creek offense on the field. It's going to be solid field position as well, although now we've got a flag, and this might be coming back. Boy, that would be a killer here for Rock Creek. Granted, they lead it 19-0, but you got a chance to really go for the kill here early, and if you're Rock Creek, you certainly don't want to see this come back. Olivia, you get the feeling, just with where the flag got thrown, this may be blocking the back type territory.
That's what it might be.
But we will have to see what the official call is and which direction we're moving in as our white hat comes out to render his verdict. And yeah, it is going to be a block in the back. So the interception for Eli Bell does stand. Tell you what, for a guy we were told was dealing with some shoulder discomfort, might be questionable in this game. You think he's feeling okay?
It seems like it. I mean, he's been taking back those drives, yards down the field. It doesn't seem to be bothering him much tonight.
1st down and 10 for the Rock Creek offense. Again, just their 2nd time taking to the field. Here's the snap, 1st and 10. They will give this up the left side. It's a solid gain on 1st and 10 for Drew Becker, who will find his way ahead for about 6 yards. Go back to the opening drive of the game, the only scoring drive for an offense so far, and we'll take a very late look at our Marshall Motors scoring drive recap, but 3 plays, 40 yards, and a touchdown for Rock Creek as they will have an injured offensive lineman coming off here. That is Dean Wildman. Actually, quick correction on my part, that is Caleb Conroe. Comes off gingerly. 2nd down and 4 for Mac Lee and company. He'll take the snap. Wants to go to the air. Wants to go deep. He has a wide open receiver. It's going to be hauled in by Dagan Vinduska. And he is gone. Touchdown Rock Creek. It is a missile of 53 yards from Mac Lee to Dagan Vinduska. And the good times keep rolling here at the Rock.
This has been a huge first quarter for Rock Creek. Just so many yards down the field, and all of those long plays are really working in their favor.
They have needed just 5 plays to score 2 touchdowns and cover, at this point, darn near 100 yards. PAT coming here for Jackson Pendel. Currently a 25-0 lead. Trying to make that 26 are the Mustangs. Good snap, good hold. The kick is an awkward sidewinder. but it finds its way through, and at the end of the day, all that matters is that the thing splits the sticks. So, 26-0 is the lead for the Rock Creek Mustangs. They are feeling it. We're still in the first quarter. We will step away, but when we come back, again, it's Rock Creek with the defense on the field. Chapman looking for an answer here on the Salina Regional Game of the Week.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
Back here at the Rock, Tyler Henry, Olivia Bergmeyer, a 26-0 advantage for the homestanding Rock Creek Mustangs. And I'll tell you what, I mean, you and I both understood that Rock Creek was the favorite coming into this game, but I don't think either of us expected it to be this lopsided here in the first quarter.
Definitely not. This has been a huge first quarter, like I said earlier, for Rock Creek. And even though they were favored, it wasn't expected to be so much.
Rock Creek's offense, again, you look at what they've done, 5 plays, nearly 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns, as they will kick this one off, and that is going to, boy, it just dies at the 5-yard line. This is going to be returnable, but again, going the wrong way, wrestled into a bad position, and now dragged down near the end zone. I think forward progress, I would imagine they'd give him forward progress, and they will. But, yeah, Chapman, I mean, at this point, just trying to do a little too much here, and you can kind of see the desperation on display. But with forward progress, Olivia, they will get some yardage here, and it looks like they'll start from their own 6.
That's much better than a couple plays ago or a couple cycles ago when they were starting at the 2. So
you get the feeling, though, Rock Creek, they've already forced 1 fumble down in this area. They're thinking about finding a way to score some points here. Groover takes the snap, 1st and 10. It's a quick give. It goes nowhere again. And there is simply nothing there. And at a certain point, again, this is a Chapman offense that likes to play power run football, but it's just tough to do right now when you're outmatched. You look at the size of these 2 lines, the advantage tilts to Rock Creek.
it seems like it, especially with no room to breathe right next to your own end zone. It puts you in a difficult spot to get down the other side of the field.
Well, that brings us to the end of the first quarter. We will step away, but when we return, it's quarter number 2. It's a 26-0 lead here for the Rock Creek Mustangs. Here at home, back with more on the Salina Regional Game of the Week when we return.
Gabe with Sage Products in Salina, offering industrial strength products that get the job done right. We are featuring hospital grade disinfectant sprays, wipes, and hand sanitizers to keep you safe this time of year. We carry toilet paper with a large assortment of hand towels. Check out our private line of colorful products like Mom's Streak-Free Glass Cleaner or our friendly Amazing Green Bowl Cleaner. Go online to sageselects.com, visit our 9th Street location in Salina, or call 309-1919.
Your next visit to the doctor for an upcoming procedure or surgery should start with a conversation about Salina Surgical Hospital. Hi, this is Geraldine Diedrich, and we are truly committed to fostering your health and well-being. From outpatient procedures to inpatient stays, you will feel the difference in our excellent care and compassion. Talk to your doctor about scheduling your next procedure at Salina Surgical Hospital. Your surgical experience is our specialty. Salina Surgical Hospital is partially owned by a group of local, community-involved physicians.
Welcome back in here to The Rock. Tyler Henry, Olivia Bergmeyer, as we get set for second quarter action. And Rock Creek, again, they were the favorites coming into this game. There was no question about that. But 26-0, 2 defensive touchdowns. This has been just a dominant effort for this Rock Creek squad early on.
Yeah, they came out into this playoff game ready to win.
Well, and after making a deep playoff run a season ago, you get the feeling they'd love to repeat that. Here is another dangerous toss to the outside. This time, though, it will work out for Chapman, who get it out, and you see a little frustration there, as I think Cade Haney thought he might have had the edge, but at the very least, he's got 7 yards here, and they get off the goal line. Now you don't have to think about a safety.
Definitely. They've got some breathing room to finally make some important plays.
So it sets up a 3rd down and 3. This is where Chapman historically has been very good. 3rd and short, that's their bread and butter. And we'll see if they can find a way to make this happen. But again, if they want to find a way to get back into this game, they're going to have to throw the ball at least a little bit unless they can find some more explosiveness on the ground. Kalen Groover ducks back under center, sends a man in motion. That's Dakota Curtis. We've got all kinds of nonsense going on up front, and an easy flag is going to be thrown there, probably for a false start.
That's what it's looking like.
Actually, no, they're saying encroachment on Rock Creek, so that's going to be a free first down. That, I will say, Olivia, is the first penalty we've seen on the Mustangs. They've played a disciplined game to this point.
Right, they've played a clean plays, making their way toward what they want to get done on the field, and so that's, yeah.
We'll set up a first down and 10 here from their own 15-yard line. Once again, it'll be Groover ducking under center, sends a man in motion, and we'll fake the handoff, give it to the up man. That's Dakota Curtis, who finds his way ahead for a couple of yards, and we've got a late flag here. And you wonder if there was something unsavory going on down there. Have to see which direction we head in as the officials will confer. We've got a zebra conference down at the 20-yard line.
Seems like it.
Still plenty of time left to go in this one, 11:09. And either there was another flag dropped there by mistake or somebody said something. I don't know if we're going to have an unsportsmanlike conduct called there. I mean, both teams are in their respective huddles with the officials separating them. This is going to be interesting. All right, so offsetting personal fouls, one on the offense, one on the defense. Those will cancel each other out. And, oh, well, for all that talk we said about Rock Creek playing a clean game, all of a sudden back-to-back penalties here on back-to-back plays.
It seems like we might have jinxed them saying that.
The broadcaster's jinx is a very real thing. You're going to find that out.
That's what it seems like.
You talk about a guy who's great at free throws, he'll brick the next one. You talk about how great a pitcher's been, he'll give up a home run. Talk about how clean a football team's been going, and, well, there it is, back-to-back penalties.
That's what it seems like.
So it's first down and 10 here as the officials will continue trying to sort this out. Still having conversation about something. And I believe we're ready to get back to football here.
Right where we started.
They are going to give 5 yards on the 1st and 10 play here to Chapman. So 2nd down and 5. Here's another toss to the outside. That goes to Cooper Lewis, who is looking for room. And, boy, he is just going to be wrestled down by a whole herd of Mustangs. And with forward progress, he will get maybe a couple of yards. Solid tackling so far for this Rock Creek side. They have done an excellent job. Sound fundamentals is exactly what you'd expect out of a team that puts up the kind of numbers that they do. But they have been excellent at stopping the run. They're going to have to do that again here on a 3rd down and 1. And you see Chapman taking their time in the huddle, not interested in trying to go fast here. Here we go. 3rd down and 1 for Groover and company. He'll take the snap. It's another give to the slot back, and, I don't think he got it. That's Brecken Francis, but I think he's short from where the official lined him up. We'll see. And, yeah, they're going to call him short.
Yep.
So it's 4th down. I think Chapman, sensing the urgency, I would imagine, will keep the offense on the field. I mean, you run the ball as much as what Chapman does. You got to trust your guys to go out and get you a half a yard here. But obviously, if you don't pick this up, you're handing Rock Creek the ball back just 5 yards outside the red zone. So here we go, 4th and inches. And they will run kind of the NFL, I wouldn't call that the tush push, but it was awfully close. There's that QB sneak, and I think that's going to be enough to pick up the first down.
That's what it seems like, just enough to push them over that line that they needed.
So it does avoid handing the ball back to Rock Creek in a first down or in a short yardage situation. And Chapman just trying to keep the offense out there, but you look at Chapman in the games that they've lost, this has been the problem because their offense, again, not really designed to come back from behind. They fall to Clay Center, 61-0 earlier this year, 33-6 to Abilene, 41-0 to Wichita Collegiate. Granted, all three of those teams state-ranked in their own right. at some point or another. But those are the games that you hope prepare you for the postseason. And Chapman trying to get back into this one and prove that they belong with a team like Rock Creek. Peyton McCarn on the tackle there. 9 minutes to go before halftime. A 26-0 Rock Creek lead. Again, the offense and defense splitting the 4 touchdowns evenly among them. And even now down, you see it here. Chapman taking their time to get back up to the line. Groover back under center. Curtis in motion. And they will give this to the short side slot back. I believe that's Cooper Lewis on the carry. And when you're running as much as Rock Creek does, or as much as Chapman does, it's relatively easy to pick up what's going on. It's kind of the motion that they rely on, all those guys moving around. You don't know who's got the football. It's kind of three-card Monty, the offense.
That's what it seems like. When it comes to Rock Creek's defense, they know what to expect, and so getting past that stacked box is going to be the biggest challenge for Chapman.
So far, they've found a way to pick up a couple of first downs. They've continued to move the ball, but 3rd down and 6 presents a tall task here for the Fighting Irish. 8 minutes left to go here in the opening half. Back under center goes Kalen Groover. He'll take the snap, toss it out to the left side. That's Dakota Curtis cutting it up now into the second level across midfield. He's got a little bit of a lane. Now he cuts it to the seam across the 40. And for the second time today, Dakota Curtis springs loose on the outside. That's the 3rd gain of 40 or more for Chapman today.
Definitely taking that explosive run to the most of what they can make out of it. He's just making his way down there. Dakota is just getting his way down the field to make those big plays for Chapman.
They have had that outside toss. I mean, Rock Creek has read it well, but that's the design of the play. If you get it on the edge there, you make one good block from your receiver on a corner, and now the back's just got daylight. Does stop the clock as he went out of bounds with 7:49 left to go here in quarter number 2. Back to work goes the offense here. Groover ducks under center. He'll fake the handoff, now give it to the up man, and that is going to be a short gain. And I will say, you got to give credit where credit is due. Chapman's kept their composure despite going down big here early in this game.
Definitely. They're still determined to come back and improve, like you said earlier, to be in league with Rock Creek.
Would have been very easy for this team to hang their heads after going down 26-0 in the first quarter and giving up a couple of defensive touchdowns, but they've really responded well. And now they've got a little something cooking with 2nd down and 6. That Rock Creek defense has spent an awful lot of the quarter here on the field. It's been one long drive for Chapman here so far. They want to keep doing that, though. They need to find a way to get some points. Here's a delayed option toss to the outside. Cutting it back now. A big lane for Cooper Lewis. There he goes to the 10. Looking to get to the pylon. He's going to be awfully close, but I think they're going to call him just short as Cooper Lewis will find his way down to the 1-yard line. But whatever adjustments Chapman has made, their running game has just had new life to it here in the second quarter.
Definitely making those plays that they were looking for earlier in the game, but now it seems like they've got the right strategy to make their way down the field.
Well, now you get to a point. It doesn't really matter who you put on the field. You've got so much motion and so much movement. You would like Chapman's chances from the 2-yard line. Rock Creek looking to stand tall, though, and we'll see if they can find a way to do just that. Once again, Groover under center, takes the snap. It's a direct give to the up man, and it is a touchdown. Boy, that was awfully easy as Chapman found the seam, and they will be on the scoreboard here as the second quarter touchdown, and it comes courtesy of Brecken Francis to make it a 26-6 ball game. Ben Griffiths would normally be on for the PAT. Instead, though, Chapman going to bring out the offense and go for 2. Here's a toss on the outside. It is read well. It goes nowhere. Boy, they wanted to get that to Dakota Curtis, but that was simply not an option. And it's going to be a 20-point Rock Creek lead as we go into another quick media timeout. Back with more after this. You're watching the Salina Regional Game of the Week.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
Back here on the Salina Regional Game of the Week, Tyler Henry, Olivia Bergmeyer, and another opportunity here for the Fighting Irish to kick this away, and a chance for the Rock Creek return team to get involved here. It'll be Ben Griffiths teeing this one up. Back deep to return again. Or actually, quick correction on my part. Jackson Pendel. Griffiths on the kick. Christensen and Rankin back to return, and a short kick that'll be fielded right about the 25-yard line as Rock Creek looking for blockers. And they will push this to about the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. Chapman right now trying to signal that they've got it. I don't believe that they do. Well, wow, they do. So it's a fumble on the return, and all of a sudden, Chapman, you go down, you score. Now you force a turnover on the kickoff. They're back in business.
Right close to their own territory, too.
I didn't even see the ball come out. I saw the Chapman guys motioning for it, but that's what you're taught. I mean, you have a chance. You're going to make the motion, try to convince the official, but yeah, here we go. It works out like a de facto onside kick, and here comes the offense once again. They want to go to the air here, trying to catch them off guard. It's going to be tipped, and it's intercepted. Taken away on first down, and nothing but green grass in front of the man that picked it. To the 10, to the 5, touchdown Rock Creek. You want to talk about how quickly fortunes can change. Cade Welfringer, who has been an absolute game wrecker all season long, takes it back to the house for the third defensive touchdown of the day for Rock Creek.
The defensive line really wants to make some of those big plays for this game for Rock Creek, it seems.
That is absolutely massive. Cade Welfringer, we'll talk more about his numbers in a moment. I mean, his numbers do not seem real. They look like somebody running a Madden simulation against their little brother. 32-6 our score. And again, it's a pick six taken back by Cade Welfringer. PAT attempt coming up here. Kick is on the way. Boy, almost blocked. But the kick is up, and the kick is good. We'll step away for another 30, but when we come back, 6:28 to go here in the second quarter, and a massive 33-6 lead for Rock Creek here on the Salina Regional Game of the Week.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
Welcome back in here to The Rock at St. George. Tyler Henry alongside Olivia Bergmeyer, and it just doesn't seem real to say it, but the third defensive touchdown of the day for Rock Creek.
Definitely. I mean, the defense has gotten more touchdowns than the offense in this game. So, big plays on the defensive side for Rock Creek.
33-6 our score. We'll talk about the man that took the ball back for a touchdown after this kickoff, but Cade Welfringer has put up numbers that they don't seem real. And again, we'll get into that stat line on the other side here of the kickoff for Rock Creek. They have been kicking an awful lot. Jackson Pendel between PATs and kickoffs, his foot's going to get sore by the end of this one.
That's what it seems like with how much they're back on this offensive line.
6:28 to go before halftime. Jackson Pendel's got it teed up once again. Back deep to return here. Ian Souther and Andre Miles, and actually just a lone return man, and it is Miles. It's going to be a short kick to the far side of the field. It's scooped up here at about the 29. Still looking for a return, just nothing there. And Rock Creek swallows him up at the 25. Let's go back to Cade Welfringer. He is a defensive end, so objectively a defensive lineman. On the season, 78 tackles, 7 of those for loss, 2 sacks. That was his 3rd interception. He adds a fumble recovery, but that was his 3rd defensive touchdown of the season.
Wow. I mean, that's incredible, especially like what you were saying earlier. It seems like a Madden simulation, or not Madden, but simulation, against your younger brother. But it's just incredible, these numbers from this kid.
There are very few guys on the offensive end that have numbers like that. As here is another passing attempt. Once again, it's going to be tipped and it's intercepted. Taken away, the 4th turnover of the day for the Rock Creek defense. And it's a 4th touchdown for the Rock Creek defensive unit. Absolutely unbelievable as the tip drill is taken back to the house. And that time around for the Mustangs, it was Dagan Vinduska who wraps it up and puts a little bow on it for the Mustangs.
Rock Creek defense just can't get enough of their own end zone, it seems like.
2 fumbles recovered for touchdowns, 2 pick sixes, 1 for Welfringer, 1 for Vinduska. You just don't see this every day. Still trying to get some personnel onto the field here for the point after attempt. Eli Bell will be the one to step onto the field here, and yeah, I think Rock Creek is going to have to call a timeout. Well, for a game where everything else has gone well, I'll tell you what, if your first big miscue of the evening is on a PAT attempt, you're doing something right.
Definitely.
6 minutes and 8 seconds left to go here in the opening half, and a game that has gotten well out of hand. Again, four touchdowns for the Rock Creek defense. We've been doing the Salina Regional Game of the Week now for, I want to say, we started in week 4. This will be our 5th broadcast of the season. I don't think we've seen that many defensive touchdowns in all of those games combined.
No, I bet you have not. I mean, this has been something incredible here tonight. Definitely exciting for this type of game.
Well, and we've continued to talk about it, but you look at Chapman, you look at the way their offense is structured. When you run the ball as much as they do, just not designed to come back from a deficit like this. I'm not saying the game is necessarily over, but you felt like their best chance was there. They got the touchdown. They recovered the fumble on the kickoff. They had a chance to drive it down, but a pick six goes the other way. That really feels like an early game changer that might seal it.
Definitely. Chapman's offense seems like it really needs a lot of momentum to get that ball rolling.
So the two teams will come back on here. It'll be the PAT try for Rock Creek. Jackson Pendel has had some kicking adventures today. Had one that may have been blocked, had another went off the crossbar and out, had one that was a wobbly sidewinder, but split the sticks for one. Try to get a cleaner kickoff here. PAT is on the way, and it is good. And with that, we will step away. For 30 seconds, it's a 40-6 lead for the Rock Creek Mustangs here at home, and it's right here on the Salina Regional Game of the Week.
This October, the Zombies are coming to Elite Sports Paintball Complex, and we need to prepare now. Here's what you should know. There will be a limited number of people each night for the Zombie Expedition. The best way to secure your spot for the upcoming Zombie Expedition is to reserve your space now. Don't miss out. We need your help in fighting zombies. Tickets are available right now at zombieexpedition.com.
And with that, we are back here, the Salina Regional Game of the Week, a 40-6 lead for the homestanding Rock Creek Mustangs, and had a chance to speak with the head coach of the Mustangs, Shane Sieben, a while ago, and he said they were fired up to get their seniors a chance to play one more game here at home. I'd say the seniors have made the most of it. Dagan Vinduska, a senior with his pick six. Cade Welfringer, a senior with another pick six. Not a senior, but Eli Bell, a junior, one of those upperclassmen, with a return for a touchdown. I mean, this has been just all over the map for the Rock Creek Mustangs, and they are already well on their way to a berth in round 2. Still a long way to go in this ball game as the kickoff will roll out of bounds. That'll draw the flag, and it will be decent field position out to the 30-yard line where the Irish will start this drive. And Olivia, if you're Chapman, you're kind of in a position right now. It feels like if you have even one last Hail Mary prayer, you got to get something on the board before halftime here.
Definitely. Being in this good position at the 30-yard line after that kick, I mean, this is where they can really start to get that momentum going and get their plays down the field.
See what they've got in store. They do have enough time to string together a drive. They'd like to take as much time as they can and then punch one in. We've seen them try to go to the air twice already. And on back-to-back passing attempts, they've both been intercepted. One on just a great jumped route from Eli or from Cade Welfringer. The other on a tip drill that found the mitts of Dagan Vinduska. You wonder if they go back to their bread and butter or if they try to go to the air here. Now trailing it big. Again, 40-6. It's a toss on the outside. That goes to Dakota Curtis. And Curtis finds his way ahead, although we do have a late flag behind the play. And we'll have to check on that penalty here. Just a reminder as they sort that out, coverage of today's game is brought to you by our friends at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, Salina Septic Service, Commercial Tire Center, Elite Sports Paintball Complex, APAC Shears, the Bennington State Bank, and of course, Kirsten Ross, Realtor and owner of Homefront Real Estate. This is going against the Irish, and to make a bad situation worse, that is going to back them up. It's a hold. It's another 10 yards in the wrong direction here for Chapman.
Definitely. They can't be going down in the wrong direction there on penalties like that if they want to keep that momentum up to make it to their own end zone.
Got a long way to go, and now even further to go. Earlier, they had one of the worst down and distances I've seen this year, 3rd and 34. This is not quite that bad, but
no.
It's better than 3rd down in Chapman High School to go.
Definitely.
Is still going to be a 1st down and 20 from the 20. And you do wonder in this situation if Chapman might try to go to the air again, but this defense has been lurking all game, and they would love a chance for another pick. Here's a delayed toss on the outside. This has been the play that's gotten Chapman some of their biggest gainers. They try to get it out to Cooper Lewis on that side, and there is simply nothing there. Does keep that clock running with 5:26 to go. They do get 5 yards out of it. And Chapman, though, not in a great position here. They'll make a couple of personnel swaps. Would imagine we'd see them try to go to the air at least once on this drive. 5:05 left to go before halftime. Again, 40-6 the lead for Rock Creek. Here is another handoff up the middle, and just not a whole lot to work with there for Dakota Curtis. Now we've got late flags coming in from all over the field, and Olivia, I had my head buried in my stats. Did you see what that might have been?
I'm not quite sure. I was looking at the camera here.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'm not quite sure what happened there on the field.
Olivia Bergmeyer, by the way, pulling double duty, running the camera for us as well. Big multitasking day for you.
Definitely a big day for me, it seems like, too.
It's already 2nd down and 20. And unsportsmanlike conduct going to be called here against Chapman. And, yeah, I mean, that's just, I would say insult to injury, but at a certain point, it's like that right now for Chapman. It really is.
No, definitely. They keep scooting further back, away from where they want to go. So this is just going to be a harder and harder time for them to get back down on the field and keep their offense on the field as well.
Already a whole lot working against them. They have attempted 3 passes. 1 was incomplete. The other 2 were intercepted and returned for touchdowns. The other advantage you have if you're Rock Creek, I mean, you got the lead you want. I'd be amazed if we saw all of their starters stay on the field for the whole second half. Groover takes the snap. It's another direct give up the middle, and once again, it'll find maybe a couple of yards. But Rock Creek, they know what's coming, and they've found ways to shut it down all night.
They definitely seem privy to what's going on in Chapman's offense at this point in the game.
But I do kind of respect Chapman here for going back to what works. They're not a passing offense. They do throw the ball around a little bit, but, I mean, again, after back-to-back pick sixes, no sense in adding insult to injury.
Definitely.
Do wonder if we might see them give it a go here on 3rd and 29. But still a long way to go to get to the sticks. Time continues to tick here. 3:40 left to play here before the intermission. It's another toss on the outside, and that is perhaps a little bit of room there, although tripped up from behind is Dakota Curtis. He had plenty of green grass in front of him. That might have been a touchdown-saving tackle by the Rock Creek linebacker. I believe Peyton McCarn came up and made the stop. So it does set up a 4th and 13 here with 3:10 to go. Rock Creek's offense has taken to the field only twice. That is all they've needed.
Now with the defense coming in and getting those pick sixes and running it down the field, I mean, there's not a whole lot of room for the offense to come onto the field. Haven't really been needed, and the punt unit is on for Chapman. They will kick this away. Fair catch is going to be called for. It's going to be muffed, though. Chapman on the deck trying to get on top of it. Do they have it here? I think they might, and they do. So for the second time today, special teams miscues are going to gift wrap Chapman a free 1st and 10. Last time, they got a pick 6 out of the deal. See if they can settle in and get the offense rolling again here already in Rock Creek territory. Chapman's going to put the ball here at the 35-yard line. 2:41 to go. Chapman still working with timeouts. Once again, they'll duck it under center with Kalen Groover. He'll send a man in motion. That's Dakota Curtis. Toss to him on the short side of the field. Now Curtis springs free. He's got a first down. And, boy, out of the gate here. Oh, now another late flag thrown by the back judge. That's got to be unsportsmanlike on somebody. If it's on Chapman, I mean, that's the one thing right now you absolutely cannot have. Especially in this field position. You can't be going back as you have this momentum here so close in Rock Creek territory.
See what the white hat is rendering here. That's going to be a personal foul on Rock Creek. So now all of a sudden the mistakes starting to pile up on the Mustang side of things. It's of little consequence when you lead 40-6, but as a team with playoff aspirations, you still don't want to see this if you're Rock Creek.
You got to keep those plays clean to really keep your own momentum going to win these games.
So it will set up, 1st and goal from the 10 for the Irish, who all of a sudden find themselves in a scoring situation.
Like you were saying earlier, Chapman offense isn't going down without a fight.
They are not. And going to be content to continue battling until the bitter end. Whether or not they can actually get back into this one might be less up for debate, but good to see them, again, not content to throw in the towel just yet. I'll tell you what, even if they try, this is not a Rock Creek team that's going to let up on you.
Definitely.
Different formation than what we've seen. It's a toss to the outside. That goes to Cooper Lewis, who's looking for the seam, and, boy, the seam is just not there. Maybe gained a yard. I think that'll set up 2nd and goal from the 9. Rock Creek has really just not allowed Chapman to stretch the field on them in this game. And they're going to say no gain. They spot this at the 10. I thought he might have gotten a yard. He did not. Time continues to wind. 1:55 to go before halftime. Groover ducks under center, sends a man in motion, fakes the toss, now rolls out to his left, wants to go to the air, throws back across his body, and he's lucky that it's incomplete instead of intercepted. As lurking back there and almost in a perfect position to take that away was Zion Bell.
It looked like the defense was really looking for their next opportunity to make it their way down the field.
They certainly were. You saw the guys pinning back their ears a little bit.
They were ready to go.
So that will stop the clock with 1:42 left to go. Chapman wants to take a moment and talk this over. It is 3rd and goal from the 9. It's not an insult to Chapman. It's just they have been just the smaller, less experienced team in this game. And you just kind of see that reflected in the way they've gotten pushed around by Rock Creek. But let's see if they can get something on the board before half. Here's a delayed toss on the outside. This goes to Curtis, who is looking for room and finds none of it. Great tackle by Tristan Meyer. And that will send Chapman once again in the wrong direction. It'll set up 4th down and goal from the 12.
Like you were saying earlier, Rock Creek is not letting up on this team, and it don't seem like they're slowing down anytime soon.
Well, and nor should they. This timeout is called, and with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff bracket, because this is obviously you want to take a head of steam, you want to take some momentum into your next round game, but if you're Rock Creek, you know that more than likely Wichita Collegiate is lurking on the other side of the bracket. That's a Wichita Collegiate team. They are 7-1. So if you're going to go play, especially at Wichita Collegiate next week, you'll want a full head of steam going into that game.
Definitely, and it seems like that's what Rock Creek is trying to build here at tonight's game.
Doing so in front of a good home crowd here at the Rock. Beautiful facility. Second time I've had a chance to be here, and man, everything from the stands to the press box to the field. This is a fun spot for high school football.
It definitely is. It's very nice, like you said, in the stands and up here in the press box. I mean, just a phenomenal job here.
Going back to that Wichita Collegiate team, their only loss this season came to Andale, an Andale team that looked literally unbeatable. They had not lost a game. They had the country's longest win streak, and they were taken down by the Cheney Cardinals. First loss they had suffered regular season, postseason, or otherwise since 2017. Here, it's 4th down and goal from the 10 for Groover and company. He'll take the snap. It's a rollout. Looking to his right. Now cuts it back up. Somehow stays behind the line of scrimmage, but it's incomplete. And, boy, he cut it awfully close. But that's going to give Rock Creek a chance here with 1:19 to potentially put together one last drive. And, Olivia, maybe the craziest stat of the day, with 1:19 to go before halftime, Rock Creek's offense takes to the field for just the 3rd time tonight.
That's incredible. I mean, the defense has just been taking up so much time on the field for the offense this game. So, well, it's great to see him back out on the field.
Certainly is. We'll see if they can put something together here. If they want to get conservative, you'd understand, but wouldn't be surprised if they want to try to take a 47-6 lead into the break. Here's the snap. Back to Lee. He'll fire this out. It is caught. Still wrestling for the football down at the 26. I think they're going to call that a completed catch to Brandon Craneville. Chapman's got it again. They're going to call it a fumble picked up by the Irish. Wow. So Chapman's got their 3rd turnover of the day out of seemingly nowhere. And that is the first turnover on the Rock Creek offense. So it's a Craneville fumble. It's the Chapman offense back on the field. And, Olivia, you ever seen a game like this?
I haven't.
I haven't either.
I mean, this is playoff material.
2 special teams mishaps already in this game for Rock Creek. I mean, it feels like water under the bridge in a 40-6 ball game, but this could be even more out of hand if they had taken care of their business. Here's all sorts of reversing action. It is ultimately taken on the left side by Ian Souther, the wide receiver. That's his first real action. He gets it on a carry, and it's enough to move the sticks and pick up the 1st down here for Chapman. Again, coming up on the halftime report, we'll get you a look at our Salina Surgical Hospital area scoreboard. Take a look at all the other games going on around the area. Finals from yesterday, from earlier this afternoon, even a couple of Friday morning games. Odd as those words sound coming out of my mouth. Also get you some first half stats and take a look at your keys to the second half. But for now, it's 1st down and 10. It's another rollout. It's another pass, and it's incomplete. And boy, just not on the same page there were Kalen Groover and Andre Miles, because Miles ran a good route, but it might have been the wrong route. And the ball did not go where the receiver did. One minute, 2 seconds. All that remains here in the opening half of play is a game that had some pretty good pace to it early is kind of screeched to a halt here.
Lots of back and forth as we grow closer to the halftime here.
I think the sticks are incorrect now. They will get them right. It's 2nd down and 10. It's a toss once again on the outside to Cooper Lewis. And there is no room for Lewis as he is brought down for no gain. They're going to call it 3rd down and 10 here. And I think Chapman still has a timeout to work with. And, yeah, they're going to call it right here. They'll stop the clock with 45 seconds to go. And, I mean, we talk about keys. We talk about what's been going well. But, I mean, when your defense has scored 4 touchdowns, there's just not a whole lot else that needs to be said.
Definitely. I mean, just an unconventional game today. I mean, Rock Creek's defense has just been hungry for those touchdowns.
It's a Rock Creek defense that has forced 4 turnovers. They've scored on all 4 of them. It's a Rock Creek offense that is also, or correction, it's a Rock Creek defense that has scored 4 times, a Rock Creek offense that has fumbled the ball away just once. Not a Rock Creek offense that traditionally turns the ball over in any way. Just 1 fumble for Drew Becker, 1 fumble for Mac Lee. Big number that I brought up earlier in the broadcast, 11 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions for Mac Lee. He's been really good about taking care of the football in just his first year as the starting quarterback. Chapman looking for one last score here. It would be just their second of the day if they can get it. 3rd down and 10. Got a couple of chances to get something going. See what they have in store. It's going to be a straight drop back here for Groover, who wants to fire this. He had a wide open receiver. It would have been a walk-in touchdown for Andre Miles. And instead, it falls harmlessly out of play and incomplete. And it sets up 4th down and 10 here for the Irish. And are they sending on the field goal unit?
That's what it looks like.
Well, you know the line about college kickers. High school kickers can be even less predictable, but Ben Griffiths, he's, well, actually, this might not be what I thought it was. We'll see. If it's Ben Griffiths, it is Ben Griffiths. This is going to be his first attempted kick of the season of any kind. He has not attempted a PAT all year. His first try of the season is going to be a 32-yarder. Snap is down. The kick is on its way, and it's short. So the Rock Creek offense will come back on the field now with 36 seconds remaining before halftime in one of the most bizarre football games that you will see anywhere in the state tonight.
Definitely a game of the week this week.
Absolutely. See if Rock Creek wants to get aggressive or if they want to stay conservative. Again, they've got a plenty big lead, but they wouldn't mind extending it if they can. 1 receiver lined up on the left-hand side, 2 to the right. Actually, 3 to the right here. Mac Lee will have Drew Becker for company in the backfield. They are coming out here in the shotgun, so at the very least, not going to see a kneel down. They will take their shot, but it might be just a quick handoff here for the Mustangs. We'll see what they want to do. Will, in fact, be a passing play for Mac Lee, who wants to unload one down the field to the 50. It's incomplete, broken up as Eli Bell was looking for it. Ian Souther in coverage is able to come up with the stop. But it only takes a couple of seconds off the clock here. Second down and 10 now. Still plenty of time, still timeouts in the pocket of Shane Sieben. 2 receivers off to either side. Snap back to Lee. Will fire this out on the near side, and the catch is made. And actually, quick correction, that is Gavin Rosa in at quarterback. Clock does stop with 25 and a half on it here. Rosa on the season, 32 of 57, 56%, 460 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He'll be back in the shotgun here with 2 receivers off to either side. Takes a short 3-step drop, has plenty of time, now just dumps it off on a little route over the middle to Eli Bell, who's going to be wrapped up and brought down at the 35, and we have got another flag. So the flag brings the clock to a screeching halt with 14 and a half seconds left. Not 100% sure what this is all about. Bell is kind of limping off right now. Again, we were told that Bell dealing with some shoulder issues. That looked more like a lower body problem. Whatever this is, it's going to back Rock Creek up. And we may already see the changing of the guard. Again, Rosa in at quarterback for Mac Lee. First down and 10 here from the 29-yard line. Same four-receiver set. This time, though, it's an empty set for Rosa, who will dump off a screen over the middle, looking for space, now breaking it across the second level up to about the 46-yard line, and that will bring us to the halftime break. It is a massive 40-6 lead for the Rock Creek Mustangs here on our Salina Regional Game of the Week. We'll step away, but when we come back, we'll take a look around at area scores on our Salina Surgical Hospital area scoreboard.
Are you looking to buy or sell real estate? With 10 years of experience serving Northeast Kansas from Abilene to Wamego, leave it to a professional. Call Kirsten Ross, realtor and owner with Homefront Real Estate Group. Buying a home, whether it be your first time or second time, is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll make in a lifetime. Therefore, finding the right agent to help you make the process easier is essential. Kirsten Ross is there for you and your family every step of the way. Visit rosshouses.com and go Irish.
Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is your home field advantage. Our physicians include sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with orthopedic surgeons Drs. Travis Rump and Todd Riley, plus an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists. We're ready when you need us to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. For area athletes to weekend warriors, the home field advantage starts at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC. APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
This October, the Zombies are coming to Elite Sports Paintball Complex, and we need to prepare now. Here's what you should know. There will be a limited number of people each night for the Zombie Expedition. The best way to secure your spot for the upcoming Zombie Expedition is to reserve your space now. Don't miss out. We need your help in fighting zombies. Tickets are available right now at zombieexpedition.com.
Prime time for exclusive deals. Ram Power Days are back at Marshall Motors in Salina. 2023 Ram Heavy Duties are the trucks you go to work with. And right now, new Ram Heavy Duty trucks have a $2,250 rebate. 2023 Ram 1500 trucks are some of the highest rated trucks on the market. New Ram 1500s are up to $9,000 off. See more with Ram Power Days at marshallmotor.com. And the monster trucks are back in Salina Saturday, October 7th at Marshall Motors in Salina.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of two types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialist will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at salinapainclinic.org.
Gabe with Sage Products in Salina, offering industrial strength products that get the job done right. We are featuring hospital-grade disinfectant sprays, wipes, and hand sanitizers to keep you safe this time of year. We carry toilet paper with a large assortment of hand towels. Check out our private line of colorful products like Mom's Streak-Free Glass Cleaner or our friendly Amazing Green Bowl Cleaner. Go online to sageselects.com, visit our 9th Street location in Salina, or call 309-1919.
Your next visit to the doctor for an upcoming procedure or surgery should start with a conversation about Salina Surgical Hospital. Hi, this is Geraldine Diedrich, and we are truly committed to fostering your health and well-being. From outpatient procedures to inpatient stays, you will feel the difference in our excellent care and compassion. Talk to your doctor about scheduling your next procedure at Salina Surgical Hospital. Your surgical experience is our specialty. Salina Surgical Hospital is partially owned by a group of local, community-involved physicians.
Fall is full of great activities that keep us on the road. When you return to Home Sweet Home, your sewer backing up into the house is the last thing you want to find. Now is the time to dial up Salina Septic Service and their 24-hour service. They will find the problem, fix the problem, and prevent future problems with the Septic Plus Protection Club. Special pricing and worry-free maintenance. Salina Septic Service, taking care of you now and preventing septic problems in the future. Find them online at salinasepticservice.com.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
And with that, I want to welcome you back here to St. George, Kansas. Tyler Henry, Olivia Bergmeyer, and it's time now for us to take a look at our Salina Surgical Hospital halftime scoreboard. Plenty of scores coming in from around the area. We start elsewhere as Cape and Mount Carmel is up 49-7 on Salina South. It's been a tough start for both Salina teams. The Central Mustangs trail Great Bend 17-6. Big rival for the Chapman Fighting Irish is the Abilene Cowboys. They lead Ark City 26-13 at half. Southeast of Saline, Rock Creek's Week 1 opponent. They lead Chaparral 50-0. A couple of other blowouts to let you know about. Wamego is up 52-0 on El Dorado. Beloit is up 24-0 on Lakin. Marion is up 40-8 on Wabaunsee. A little bit of a closer one sees Wichita Collegiate up 21-7 on Concordia. Remember, the winner of that game and the winner of this game will meet in the round of 16 next week. Ellsworth is up 35-0 on Haven, and of course here, it's the Rock Creek Mustangs at home with a 40-6 lead over the Chapman Fighting Irish. We'll talk more about how they got there on the other side of the break, but for now, we will step away. It's the halftime report here on the Salina Regional Game of the Week.
Are you looking to buy or sell real estate? With 10 years of experience serving Northeast Kansas from Abilene to Wamego, leave it to a professional. Call Kirsten Ross, realtor and owner with Homefront Real Estate Group. Buying a home, whether it be your first time or second time, is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll make in a lifetime. Therefore, finding the right agent to help you make the process easier is essential. Kirsten Ross is there for you and your family every step of the way. Visit rosshouses.com and go Irish.
Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is your home field advantage. Our physicians include sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with orthopedic surgeons Drs. Travis Rump and Todd Riley, plus an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists. We're ready when you need us to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. For area athletes to weekend warriors, the home field advantage starts at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC. APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
This October, the Zombies are coming to Elite Sports Paintball Complex, and we need to prepare now. Here's what you should know. There will be a limited number of people each night for the Zombie Expedition. The best way to secure your spot for the upcoming Zombie Expedition is to reserve your space now. Don't miss out. We need your help in fighting zombies. Tickets are available right now at zombieexpedition.com.
Prime time for exclusive deals. Ram Power Days are back at Marshall Motors in Salina. 2023 Ram Heavy Duties are the trucks you go to work with. And right now, new Ram Heavy Duty trucks have a $2,250 rebate. 2023 Ram 1500 trucks are some of the highest rated trucks on the market. New Ram 1500s are up to $9,000 off. See more with Ram Power Days at marshallmotor.com. And the monster trucks are back in Salina Saturday, October 7th at Marshall Motors in Salina.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of two types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialist will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at salinapainclinic.org.
Gabe with Sage Products in Salina, offering industrial strength products that get the job done right. We are featuring hospital-grade disinfectant sprays, wipes, and hand sanitizers to keep you safe this time of year. We carry toilet paper with a large assortment of hand towels. Check out our private line of colorful products like Mom's Streak-Free Glass Cleaner or our friendly Amazing Green Bowl Cleaner. Go online to sageselects.com, visit our 9th Street location in Salina, or call 309-1919.
Your next visit to the doctor for an upcoming procedure or surgery should start with a conversation about Salina Surgical Hospital. Hi, this is Geraldine Diedrich, and we are truly committed to fostering your health and well-being. From outpatient procedures to inpatient stays, you will feel the difference in our excellent care and compassion. Talk to your doctor about scheduling your next procedure at Salina Surgical Hospital. Your surgical experience is our specialty. Salina Surgical Hospital is partially owned by a group of local, community-involved physicians.
Fall is full of great activities that keep us on the road. When you return to home sweet home, your sewer backing up into the house is the last thing you want to find. Now is the time to dial up Salina Septic Service and their 24-hour service. They will find the problem, fix the problem, and prevent future problems with the Septic Plus Protection Club. Special pricing and worry-free maintenance. Salina Septic Service, taking care of you now and preventing septic problems in the future. Find them online at salinasepticservice.com.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
And with that, I want to welcome you back in here at the Rock in St. George, Kansas. Tyler Henry, Olivia Bergmeyer, as we have reached the intermission. The Rock Creek Mustangs hold a dominant 40-6 lead over Chapman. That part may not be quite as strange as how we got there, and let's go ahead and take a look back and revisit how we got those points on the board. It all started with a Rock Creek offensive drive. They put the offense out there, took them just 3 plays to go 46 yards, a 16-yard touchdown run from Becker, got them on the board 7-0. Then on the very next drive, a fumble was forced. It was a big hit laid by the middle linebacker, as coming in and delivering it was Ezra Spiller. Ball was scooped up by Eli Bell. He took it 60 yards the other way for a defensive touchdown. Then Rock Creek would pin Chapman back deep in their own territory, force a fumble, and recover it in the end zone for their second defensive TD of the day to put them up 19-0. And from there, the wheels started coming off. There was an interception to Eli Bell. Bell took it back to the house to put him up 26-0. And then, of course, there was another interception that went to Dagan Vinduska. And that was run, actually, correction, it was a Mac Lee touchdown to Dagan Vinduska of 53 yards to put him up 26-0. Chapman responded with a 3-yard touchdown run of their own. They tacked on attempted the 2-point conversion, were unable to get it. That brought us to 26-6, and then back-to-back pick sixes for Cade Welfringer and for Dagan Vinduska got us to where we are now, a 40-6 lead for the homestanding Rock Creek Mustangs. We'll step away briefly here, but when we return, it's the second half of action. Again, it's Rock Creek and Chapman, and you're catching it right here on the Salina Post Game of the Week.
Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is your home field advantage. Our physicians include sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with orthopedic surgeons Drs. Travis Rump and Todd Riley, plus an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists. We're ready when you need us to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. For area athletes to weekend warriors, the home field advantage starts at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer. The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
Welcome back into the Rock here in St. George, Kansas. Tyler Henry alongside Olivia Bergmeyer, a 40-6 lead for the homestanding Mustangs, and comes on the strength of four defensive touchdowns so far. It's been a wild ride so far, but you got to love the chances of Rock Creek to kind of keep their foot on Chapman's throat and finish this one out strong.
Definitely seems like that's what they're heading for, with a lot of excitement from the team as they're running back from warm-ups. They seem to be ready to get back into this game.
Certainly ready to get back into this game. I would also imagine trying to stay warm out there. Yeah. It finally does feel like late season football weather. 43 degrees right now.
I know, and it's only scheduled to get colder as we go further into the night.
I do feel a little bit bad. I'm sitting here next to the heater. You're over here by the open window. That's
It's part of it. It's part of running the camera. I've got gloves and a good coat. So.
There we go. I did tell you to dress warm, in fairness.
I did have good warning.
You were warned. Rock Creek will put the offense on the field for what will be incredibly, in a 40-6 game, just the 4th time today. As Chapman will kick this one away, it's Trevor Christensen and Dawson Rankin back deep to return here for the Mustangs. It is Ben Griffiths teeing it up here. He attempted his first kick of the season. That was not a kickoff earlier. It was a 35-yard field goal attempt. That was no good. So here it's Griffiths with one hand in the air. He will send a low end-over-end kick. That'll take an awkward bounce. It'll be scooped up here by Rock Creek as they are looking for some blockers, and they'll find their way to the 29-yard line. That is where the second half of play will begin here. And Olivia, Rock Creek's offense looked awfully good moving the football through the air. You'd expect more of that even with the big lead here in the second.
Definitely, finally getting them on the field a little bit more, too. The most touchdowns this game have come from the defense, so having the offense back here, they look hungry and ready to go. 4
defensive touchdowns, 2 offensive touchdowns for the Rock Creek Mustangs as they will step back onto the field here. 3 receivers split out wide to the left side of the formation. And curious to see as they will give the handoff right up the gut. That's plenty of space into the second level. That's Drew Becker still breaking tackles now across midfield. He's up to the 46-yard line as he crosses into Chapman territory. And there you see a wrinkle we didn't see, Olivia, in the first half. The running game getting involved here big.
It is, and his teammates definitely opened up that run for him on every level until the end there. So definitely a running play from Rock Creek.
Once again, great blocking downfield as they continue to work their way deeper into Chapman territory. It was Gavin Rosa in at quarterback on the final drive of the first half. It's Mac Lee back in there at quarterback now, the traditional starter. Had to take a second and confirm that. 3 receiver bunch, everybody in tight here. It's a toss to the outside. That will go once again to Becker, who's looking to break tackles. Now across the 40, up to the 30. Still on his feet, pushed out of bounds at the 30, or rather the 25-yard line. But we've got a late flag thrown in on the backside of the play, and we'll see if this is coming back.
We'll definitely have to see what the white hat and other refs have to say about this penalty going on here.
Be interesting to see what the call is, given that nobody's moved in either direction. You got to think this might be against Rock Creek, and this might back them up. And at the very least, make it a little more challenging. They've really moved the ball at will tonight.
Right, they've had a solid opening for a lot of these big plays, but with the negative yards, you can't get much done.
Looks like the penalty, though, will go against the Irish. It's going to be hands to the face, and that will set up Rock Creek with a free first down. That's the other thing you can't really afford to have if you're Chapman. You can't be giving away free yards with how well Rock Creek has been taking them on their own.
You definitely got to clean up your play and tighten up so they can't get just those free yards like you were saying, Tyler. I mean, they've got to clean it up to where they can keep them stopped.
Wouldn't want to say that the game is over already, although it does feel like we're kind of getting to that point. 40-6, a Chapman team that is kind of just playing for pride at this point in the game. It's not that it is physically possible within the realm of what football will allow for them to make a comeback, but just given the way they run their offense, you don't get the sense that they're going to find a way to pull this off. But as you alluded to earlier in the broadcast, still battling to the bitter end.
Yeah, they are not giving up in this game, but like we were saying earlier, they've got to have that big first lead to get the ball rolling.
Empty set here for Mac Lee. He's got 4 receivers, 2 split off to either side. They will completely clear it out for him, and it looks like they want to continue attacking this Chapman defense through the air. Call sign comes in from the sideline. Mac Lee back in an empty set all by his lonesome. He'll take the snap. We've got a penalty as a flag comes in from this far side of the field. And they will find their way up to about the 8-yard line. But once again, we'll have to check the fabric and see what the call is. I believe that was Trevor Christensen on the end-around carry, and they're going to wave the flag off. So it goes for a gain of, they're going to say 4, to bring up a 2nd down and 6. And again, the flag waved off. We play on. Drew Becker remains the back in the formation. He'll line up in the pistol directly behind Mac Lee. 3 receivers split out to the left-hand side. Rock Creek looking for their first touchdown of the second half. Awkward snap. It's going to be bobbled. Chapman got there, and they are able to bring down Mac Lee for what I believe is the first negative yardage play for the Rock Creek offense all game long.
I think you're right, and Chapman defense was all over that opening they saw.
Just an awkward snap, and Lee was kind of bobbling it, playing hot potato behind the line of scrimmage. And he is wrapped up for a sack. That'll bring up 3rd and 10. For Chapman, also trying to hold Rock Creek out of the end zone as we're approaching running clock territory. Reminder on that, a 50-point lead after the end of the 3rd quarter constitutes a running clock. Here it's Mac Lee in the pistol. He'll send a receiver in motion from right to left. That's Trevor Christensen. Takes the snap, wants to carry it on a option toss to the outside. There's plenty of room, still fighting through tacklers, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Drew Becker. His second of the day, and Rock Creek right back on the board here in the second half. Call it a 12-yard touchdown rush for Becker. Again, his second trip to the end zone, and the PAT attempt will come here for Jackson Pendel. Snap is good, the hold is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 47-6. It's a 41-point lead for the homestanding Rock Creek Mustangs here on our Salina Regional Game of the Week. Back with more on the Salina Post Sports Network when we return.
Are you looking to buy or sell real estate? With 10 years of experience serving Northeast Kansas from Abilene to Wamego, leave it to a professional. Call Kirsten Ross, realtor and owner with Homefront Real Estate Group. Buying a home, whether it be your first time or second time, is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll make in a lifetime. Therefore, finding the right agent to help you make the process easier is essential. Kirsten Ross is there for you and your family every step of the way. Visit rosshouses.com and go Irish.
Back here at the Rock, Tyler Henry, Olivia Bergmeyer, a 47-6 lead here for the homestanding Rock Creek Mustangs, well on their way to a second-round matchup, we think, with Wichita Collegiate. But again, taking a look at that score at the halftime break, Collegiate did lead Concordia, but only 21-7. That could be interesting, and certainly one we'll keep an eye on.
Definitely. I mean, at this point, it could be anyone's game in that gap.
Certainly could. Rock Creek's got it teed up here, ready to kick this one away. Jackson Pendel will send it deep. Once again, back deep to return for the Irish, Ian Souther and Andre Miles. And they have had plenty of opportunities to return kicks, but have not found anything explosive yet. Let's see if they even get a chance to return this. They will not. Bounces into the end zone, and it's another touchback for Jackson Pendel. So the Rock Creek defense will come back onto the field. Again, the most impressive stat line I think I've ever seen. 4 defensive touchdowns in the first half alone. And you got to think, at this point, they wouldn't mind picking up a few more here. They're going to be playing aggressive.
They seem hungry for it, so we'll see if they can pick up a few more by the end of the game.
Certainly looking to get stops here against a Chapman offense that has had kind of mixed success in this game. Kalen Groover under center does have the 2 interceptions. They've had a couple of big runs. Dakota Curtis, Cade Haney, Cooper Lewis have been involved of carries of 40-plus yards. They could use one of those here, as now you can't go into clock-wasting mode. You got to find ways to get some big explosive plays, but you see it here. Rock Creek is lining everybody up in the box. And, yeah, 1st and 10 handoff that will go to Brecken Francis, and that will go backwards.
Rock Creek's defensive box just seems to have a handle on what the Chapman offense is up to.
Does keep the clock moving here with 9:10 left to go. They're going to say with forward progress, it's actually a gain of a yard. And it sets up 2nd down and 9. Actually, correction, they're going to say no gain. It's still 2nd down and 10 from the 20. Groover back under center. Curtis and Lewis are the slot backs. Francis lined up as the fullback. Here's a toss on the outside. Looking to follow the blockers. Cutting it back up and diving ahead is Cooper Lewis. And he will have about 4 yards on the carry to bring up 3rd down and 6. Rock Creek just doing a good job tonight of keeping a hat on a hat. But we heard it from Coach Sieben before the game began in our pregame chat, and he said, look, this is the 5th time this season we faced a team that runs the triple option. They've seen this a time or two this year.
Definitely. I mean, and they've kind of proven it on the scoreboard tonight that they've seen it so many times.
It gets to a certain point, you start looking at film and you go, hey, I've seen this before.
I kind of know what's going on.
Groover back under center, 3rd down and 6, takes the snap, hands it off again to the up back, and not a lot of room there as Rock Creek will stand him up and drag him down, shy of the line to gain. Will get his way to the 26, but it brings up 4th down and 3, and a decision to be made here for the Fighting Irish.
Definitely. The Rock Creek defense has dragged the Chapman offense back a few times.
And I think the punting unit is coming on here, and kind of a signaling of the waving of the white flag, but really not a lot else you can do in this situation. You certainly don't want to give it back to an offense you haven't been able to stop.
Definitely not in this position either.
Absolutely. Field position, a big part in this one. So, right now, there's nobody back to return this for Rock Creek. Okay. So the punt goes back to the official, who will not field it. It will roll its way down to the 26, and that is where Rock Creek will start their second drive of the second half. And I don't know if that's a little gamesmanship, maybe a little respect being shown, but interesting move to not even have a returner on the field on the punt for Rock Creek.
Definitely an interesting move. I mean, there was nobody back there besides the official, like you said.
You think the official thought about catching that, trying to take it back, you know?
I would have. I would.
At this point in the game, you try your hand.
Just have a little stroll down the field.
I've seen referees do all sorts of nonsense over the course of 6 or 7 years broadcasting high school football. Here we go, though. Mac Lee back in the shotgun set. 2 receivers off to either side. He'll take the snap. It's a 3-step drop, looking over the middle. Now he's flushed out of the pocket, rolls out. He will hit a open receiver on the far sideline. That's hauled in by Brandon Cranebill, who has enough for the first down before he's shoved out at the 36.
Cranebell was really wide open and ready for that throw, getting them a lot of yards on this play.
Do have a flag back at the 20-yard line. You wonder if that might be in the territory of a hold, and it certainly looks like this is coming back. Final score is going to be starting to come in from all around the state. Plenty of games entering the 4th and final quarter here. And it is, in fact, a hold called here against the Mustangs. That'll back them up 10 yards. I guarantee you, Coach Stevens going to have a thing or two to say in the locker room after this game about the penalties. Really the only thing you can fault Rock Creek for, but if you want to give yourself a shot against Collegiate next week, you got to clean some of this up.
Yeah, I mean, they were showing it in the first quarter. It was very clean football. They weren't having many penalties, if any at all. And now they kind of seem to have loosened up a little bit.
3 receivers to the left side of the formation. Mac Lee back in the shotgun. He's got Drew Becker back there with him for company. One motion's out from right to left. He'll take the snap. It's another option read. He'll toss it, and now a little spin move on the outside for Becker, who wants to cut it back to the inside. He'll find his way back to the 20-yard line. So it's a whole lot of work for a 5-yard gain, but it does bring up 2nd down and 15.
At least a little less to go than 20.
Chipping away at it. Sometimes that's the best way to go. It's not always easy to find 20 yards on any given play.
Definitely.
Give yourself another crack at it here on 2nd and 15. Now back in a pistol set goes Mac Lee as Becker lines up directly behind him. 3 receivers to the right side of the formation. 4 on the line for the Irish. Here's the snap back to Lee. He will fire this up in the air. It's going to be bobbled, and it should have been intercepted. My goodness. That had pick 6 written all over it as Dakota Curtis was right there for what could have and probably should have been his first interception of the season. And Olivia, he had a touchdown waiting for him if he was able to hold on.
He was ready, and he seemed pretty disappointed about that bobble.
Dakota Curtis does have 3 catches on the year from his spot at running back. Either way, brings up 3rd down and 15 here for the Rock Creek offense. 2 receivers, now 3 receivers lined up to the left side of the formation. Mac Lee back in the pistol, takes the snap, 3-step drop, good protection, wants to go deep, has a wide open receiver at midfield. It's tipped up in the air, and it's incomplete. Boy, Trevor Christensen drops a touchdown of his own, and it brings up 4th down and 15 as both teams take a free 6 points off the board.
It's not a position we've seen Rock Creek's offense in a lot this game.
There is a flag down at the 25. We'll have to check that again here. It's against Chapman, likely going to get the down back at the very least. Might be looking at 3rd and 10, but we'll have to wait and see what direction we're moving in. It's going to be an illegal man downfield called against Rock Creek. Very wisely, Chapman is going to decline the penalty. They'll take the down, and it is now a 4th and 15 and a punting situation for the first time all day. Rock Creek going to punt the football away.
You can see how these penalties can really rack up quickly and derail your entire offense plan.
Well, and like we said, it's a 47-6 game. It's not going to affect the final score, but you know who's lurking on the other side of the bracket. You want to make sure you clean it up and take yourself in with a full head of steam next week. Here is, oh boy, that is that's a shank of a punt if ever I've seen one, and now we've got flags. And there you see Eli Bell clapping his hands like this is against Chapman. If it is against Chapman and if it's running into the punter, that's a free 1st down. We'll have to see what the call is here, but this could be absolutely disastrous, as I believe it is going to be some form of either roughing or running into the punter. But we'll have another zebra conference at the 15-yard line to sort it out.
Chapman had them where they wanted it, but with a call like this, it could really mess up what they were trying to get achieved here.
Wow, so for the second time today, we've got unsportsmanlike conduct on both teams. Those penalties offset. I didn't see for sure from the white hat. We're kind of in an awkward angle up here. Somebody might have just gotten tossed for Chapman. I'm not 100% sure. I cannot confirm that. But any way you want to slice it, they're going to tack the yardage on to the end of the kick. Chapman's offense will take to the field here, and they will start by setting up shop at the 30-yard line, already deep into Mustang territory. So it's great field position for Chapman here, as they will look to take advantage and get what would be just their second touchdown of the day. They trail it again by 41 here.
Still determined to get some of those points on the board. They're hungry and ready for the play, it seems.
Well, you talk about playing for pride. It's also a matter of playing for your seniors at this point. As a snap and a direct handoff, the give goes right up the gut. That's a solid gain up the middle, really the biggest gain up the middle we've seen today for Brecken Francis. Now, I will say, you look around at this squad here for Chapman. Kalen Groover is only a sophomore. His leading ball carriers, Dakota Curtis, Cooper Lewis, and Cade Haney, are all juniors. Brecken Francis is only a sophomore. All of those guys will be back. You lose a couple of receivers in Ian Souther and Andre Miles, but for a power run team, that's not as big of a loss as what some may think. As a 2nd down and 4 is given up the gut, that won't go for much. And then you look at the offensive line, and you will lose a couple of seniors in Weston Langvart, Kendon Blacketer, and Zach Piriano. But as far as the primary group of ball carriers, Olivia, this team is going to bring everybody back next year for Chapman.
Definitely. This is probably a formative year for these young guys, and so having this experience and taking it into next year will be a big bonus for Chapman's team.
And I'll be interested to see what Kalen Groover looks like by the time he's a senior, because he's shown flashes of what he can do. Heard very high praise from him out of Kurt Webster before the season began, but obviously only a sophomore out there and doing his best here in a big playoff game, but just has not had the push that Chapman requires to get a win. Here's a toss on the outside. They try to throw that out to Cooper Lewis, and Lewis is quickly run out of bounds. And we'll see where they mark him. Believe, though, he is going to be, boy, they say just enough for the first down and move the chains. So with 4:05 left to go, here in the opening quarter of the second half, still slowly working our way through this one. A lot of stoppages for penalties and turnovers, incomplete passes.
Definitely been an unexpected game here tonight. Lots of elements that you usually see once or twice in a game, we've seen quite a few times.
Defensive touchdowns, unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, you name it. Here's another snap back. They'll give this on the left side. That's Dakota Curtis trying to curl his way up. He'll find his way to about the, call it the 19-yard line. So he does pick up 4 on the play.
Really using that rushing offense to their advantage at this position in the field.
Still 3:10 to go, third quarter. Chapman still taking their time, getting their plays in, making sure they've got everything lined up and got all their ducks in a row. Finals starting to trickle in on our Salina Surgical Hospital scoreboard. Second down and 8 here for Groover and company. He'll send a man in motion. Take the snap, wants to keep it himself. Now pitches to the outside. That's Dakota Curtis. And Curtis has got a first down and change as he will get deeper into the red zone up to about the 10-yard line.
They are really not giving up on this game. They're giving it their all to get down into that end zone and score some more points to put on the board.
Really nothing else at this point in the evening that you can do, but can also keep the score more respectable, both by scoring points and by keeping that Rock Creek offense off the field. And they have, to their credit, not only have they not turned the ball over here in this third quarter, they also have done a good job of avoiding some of the big playmakers for this Rock Creek squad. As here's another inside give. They will try to get Brecken Francis up to the 2-yard line, and he's going to be awfully close.
Really trying to shove him through that line, that defensive line.
Tell you what, Chapman got it on the goal line last time, and it was an awfully easy touchdown. As they got it from 3 yards out, that is their one and only score. But when you look at the design of this offense, it's built for situations like this.
Right, this is where this offense wants to be. So we'll have to see if they can make it work this close.
Second down and goal, nose of the football down at the 4-yard line. Groover will duck under center. He will have Brecken Francis lined up as the fullback. Sends a man in motion from right to left. They will motion him out, toss it to him now, and that's going backwards as once again Cade Welfringer comes in and does what he does best. He's an absolute game wrecker. We went over some of his stats earlier. I mean, he's got everything. He's got 78 tackles coming into the season, 2 sacks, 3 interceptions, a fumble recovery, 3 defensive touchdowns, probably a partridge and a pear tree somewhere in there.
Definitely.
I mean, you name a stat, he's got it as that defensive end. There, he got involved on the outside, forced it to go the reverse way, and it makes it a third down and goal now from the 9. This game never in much doubt, as Rock Creek led it 26-0 after a quarter. Chapman rolling out. This is Groover through the air. It's going to be tipped and incomplete. Rock Creek was hunting what would have been their 3rd interception of the day. And instead it falls harmlessly to the grass with 38.9 seconds to go. Another decision to be made here for the Irish. See what unit gets brought out here. Believe it's going to be the offense for Chapman. And they are going to go for it. Really no reason not to. Worst case scenario, you turn the ball over deep in your opponent's territory. We'll see if they can get points out of this. Here's a toss on the outside. It's going to be a little trickeration, and it's knocked out of the air as it is, swatted down by Peyton McCarn, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. But tip your cap to Chapman for trying it.
No, definitely. They're not ready to give up like we've said so many times this evening. And right there, they proved it again. They were not giving up on that drive. They wanted to see if they could get it into that end zone.
Well, and you love the little toss to the outside, turns into a passing play, but credit to Rock Creek. They read it well. And now their offense will take over deep in their own territory at about their own 7-yard line. That's where this drive will begin. Checking to see. It is, in fact, Mac Lee still in there at quarterback. 2 receiver stacks off to either side. A first down carry, and it goes nowhere as Drew Becker is hit and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. And the Chapman defense, after spending a lot of time on the sideline resting up, is back in full effect. Boy, they're going to call a big old loss. They're going to say that's a loss of 5. So that is going to back Rock Creek all the way up to their own 4. Lee's going to take the snap with his feet in his own end zone. Wants to go deep. Now steps up. Flushed out to his right. He'll tuck it. Wants to run. He should have the first down marker. Let's see if he got there. We'll sort that out on the other side of the break, but for now, we will step away as that brings us to the end of quarter number 3. Rock Creek holding a commanding 47-6 lead here on our Salina Post Game of the Week.
Help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. For area athletes to weekend warriors, the home field advantage starts at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
Welcome back into the Rock here in St. George. Tyler Henry alongside Olivia Bergmeyer, a 47-6 lead for the Rock Creek Mustangs, and just looking to bring it home and punch their ticket to the round of 16 a week from now. It would be their second such trip as they made it all the way to the quarterfinals of last year's playoff before running into that Andale machine on their way to yet another state championship game. A lot of departed players from that team. Obviously, Dalton Whitworth and Ethan Burgess, 2 of the best to do it, not only in Rock Creek, but in the state of Kansas. Dalton Whitworth led the state of Kansas in passing last season. It's a tough guy to have to move on from.
No, it definitely is, but it seems like they've done pretty well this year.
Certainly have. Mac Lee, again, in his first year as starting quarterback, completing 62% of his passes, over 1,000 yards on the year, but most importantly, 11 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. He'll send a man in motion from the pistol here. That is Trevor Christensen motioning out to the right side of the formation. Here's the snap back to Lee. They want to go with the option. He will keep it himself. Boy, both options were just completely covered up. And it's going to bring up a 4th down and 4. And you just kind of get the sense that at this point in the ball game, Rock Creek is content to kind of make sure their guys stay healthy, get to the finish line, and head in rested and ready to go next week.
Yeah, they seem like they're almost preparing for the next game at this point because they're ready, set and ready to go in this playoff season.
They will bring the punting unit onto the field here as Eli Bell is your punter. And back deep to return is Andre Miles, who will have his feet set up to catch the return already in Rock Creek territory. He's going to let this take a friendly Chapman bounce to the 40, and that's where the Irish will start this next drive. Well, Chapman's done a decent job of moving the football at times in this game. It's just been a matter of finishing off drives that's been the problem. And Olivia, you saw that on their last drive as they got it all the way down to the 4-yard line and then took a big loss and just kind of pushed themselves out of range.
Right, and I mean, they keep getting on those backwards plays is what really is derailing their drives toward the end of the field.
Coverage of today's game brought to you by our friends at Sage Products. Sage Products of Salina is your supplier for janitorial products for your business or home. From paper towels to soap and items from ceiling to floor, you'll see products from Sage, and you can get the same home field advantage at your home or office by visiting sageselects.com. First down and 10 here for the Irish offense. They'll start in Rock Creek territory at the 40. It's a handoff on first down. It goes nowhere again. Don't have the official stats, of course, but I would imagine a majority of Chapman's rushing yards tonight have come on 4 or 5 really big double-digit gainers. Aside from that, there just has not been a lot up the middle for the Irish tonight.
Rock Creek's defense is just what's keeping them at that line. They can't make those plays that they consistently rely on to get across the field and keep the minutes going on the board while they're on the offense. So it's just been a difficult game for them all night.
Yep, Rock Creek's defense, again, they have been excellent tonight. They'll need to do so again a week from now, assuming, of course, that they do face Wichita Collegiate, who at the half led Concordia 21-7. Here's a delayed pitch on the outside, looking for room. This should be enough for the first down up to the 30 and into the second level. That's a solid run for Dakota Curtis. I know I brought this up earlier, but again, all of the ball carriers for Chapman will be back next year.
Right, and they're going to have all the experience from this year to bring in and bring some more experience to their team compared to this year.
Certainly will. Obviously, the biggest question marks are going to be on the offensive line, especially at right guard where Weston Langvard, I mean, he has been an all-league, all-regional type of guy for the last 2-3 years. It's going to be a big loss on that O-line. Here's a quick give up the middle to Brecken Francis, who finds his way ahead to the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 6, and it keeps that clock moving with 9:43 left to go in the ball game.
We were talking about it earlier. Chapman just had one of those double-digit, maybe not so double-digit, I wasn't paying close attention, but one of those longer drives that helped them get across this field.
Certainly do. Sets up a 2nd down and 4 here for the Irish. Again, the Rock Creek defense looking to stand tall, as Chapman has found themselves down in this part of the field an awful lot tonight, but again, haven't been able to finish it. Here's a pass over the middle. It's jumped and almost intercepted. Boy, it would have been the 3rd pick of the day for the Rock Creek defense, and they almost came up with another one. That time over the middle. Believe that was Landon Snyder.
They're jumping and ready to go for it.
Certainly were. And again, you tip your cap to Chapman for continuing to let Groover try it.
I mean, those throws he'll be able to take into next year from the experience he gains and just get more and more accurate as the years go forward.
Also taken into basketball season, Groover, like many on this team, a multi-sport athlete. Motion man left to right. It'll be another straight give up the middle, and Chapman starting to play some power football here, but you see Rock Creek has cycled in some of their second unit and getting some younger guys, some playoff experience, which is always something you want to do, especially this part of the season. You never know. You're always one injury away from being called upon to start in a big game. Good to get them the experience now.
No, definitely.
8:48 to go here. Chapman on the move inside the red zone at the 15-yard line. Still continuing to work the ball down, trying to grind Rock Creek's defense into a fine powder here, but again, they trail it 47-6. And another give up the gut will go for a short gain, call it maybe 2. Already a couple of finals from yesterday on our Salina Surgical Hospital area scoreboard, as again the 8-man teams, a majority of them got started last night. The Bennington Bulldogs did what they could, but they ultimately fell at the hands of Hoxie 52-0. Sacred Heart did the same against Sedgwick, but fell 35-7. So already 2 of the teams in our area network are down. A third failed to make the playoffs, which brought the total coming into tonight down to just 11 teams. 2 of them playing in this game right here, in an incomplete pass on 2nd down and 8 will bring up 3rd and 8. Week 1 is kind of the culling week. Week 9, week 1 of the playoffs. A lot of times this is where you sort out the contenders from the pretenders.
Definitely. I mean, you see it in these lopsided games tonight, but that's where it starts. I mean, that's where the playoff starts, and that's where you kind of got to get those who don't belong there and those who do in that first game.
Speaking of which, we've got our first final from our area. Cape and Mount Carmel predictably gets the win, but 63-7. they get the win over Salina South. Third down and 8. They will take this again up the middle. This time it is Groover trying to keep it himself, and he is well short. And that'll bring up a 4th down and 6. With just 7:35 left to go. Again, this is the 6th all-time meeting between these two. Rock Creek does hold a 5-1 advantage all time. 7:12 left to go. Ducking back under center here on 4th down and 6 is Groover. They want to take him through the air. He fires it out. He's got an open receiver, and it's a touchdown. Hauled in on the left sideline, and the catch made by Andre Miles, who will pick up one final touchdown here in his senior season. Just his 2nd receiving touchdown of the year, but you tip your cap. Rock Creek unable to stop it. Just a good route, good hands there for the senior who hauls it in for the score. Chapman going to roll out here and go for 2. See if they can find a way to punch this in. Snap comes back. They'll toss it out. That's going nowhere as they tried to get that to Dakota Curtis, and just not a lot of space. That brings us to a score of 47-12 with 7:02 left to go. We'll step away, but when we return, more Game of the Week action here on the Salina Post Sports Network.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
And with that, we are back here from the Rock in St. George. Tyler Henry, Olivia Bergmeyer, a 47-12 lead, soon to be. Maybe not the same score, but certainly a victory for the Rock Creek Mustangs. And really, Olivia, in all facets of the game, they have just been the more dominant side across the board, but physicality played a big role in this one. They really pushed Chapman around at will.
They did, and they've got some bigger guys on their side of the field as well, so that doesn't bode well for Chapman's.
Certainly does not. Another quick final for you on our area scoreboard. Marion defeats Wabunzi 54-14. Thought that one might have gone down a little bit closer, but was not to be for the Chargers after their Cinderella run to the state semifinals a season ago in 1A. It's a little squib kick that'll be scooped up here at the 25-yard line. That's where the return starts for Rock Creek, is breaking a tackle, now working it up to the sideline at about the 30-yard line, now at the 40 and out of bounds at the 45. And yeah, that's going to be a late hit all day, every day. It's bad enough when you shove the guy out of bounds late. It's really bad when you do it in front of his own sideline.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't do well, especially if you're wanting to clean up your plays, especially late in this game as you head toward the playoffs.
Well, and at this point, it just becomes a kind of a point of emphasis for both sides. You're just trying to keep everybody healthy. Obviously, for Chapman, you're not trying to lose anybody in kind of a game that's already over. Speaking of games that are already over, Ellsworth gets the victory 42-0 over Haven. Already had one ejection in this game. And I don't think this is going to lead to another, but just something to keep in the back of your mind. More finals here on our Salina Surgical Hospital scoreboard. Clay Center defeats Clearwater 55-0. Andale knocks off Hugoton 46-0. We'll continue to monitor and keep you up to date on all the latest happenings around the state of Kansas. Again, this is the culling week, but here is the Rock Creek offense back on the field here. Empty set on a 1st and 10 from the 40. And they are going to keep it here with Mac Lee, who breaks his way off to the left-hand side. He's got room across the 20, now cutting it up to the 10-yard line. How about a gain of 30 yards on 1st and 10 as Mac Lee, who has not carried the ball a crazy amount. I mean, 65 carries for 293 yards, really breaks one there.
Mac saw just green grass right in front of him, so he took every opportunity to run down that field, and his teammates had his back.
Certainly did. Good blocking downfield, sticking with the play, and now it brings up a 1st down and goal from the 10-yard line. Already more or less out of hand. One more touchdown would bring us into running clock territory as Mac Lee lines up with an empty set. He wants to run it again. Looks like the exact same play they ran a moment ago. Lee goes up and over, and he's in. So it's Mac Lee with a rushing touchdown of 10 yards. And that's going to get Rock Creek over the 50-point hump. This is just a dominant effort from start to finish. And the Rock Creek Mustangs have exceeded 50 for what I believe on the season is just the 2nd time.
Showing both their running and throwing offense is effective tonight against Chapman.
For Mac Lee, that is just his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. Trying to set up for that stat, and then my Wi-Fi decided to just cut out on me. PAT try coming here. Kick is on its way, and the kick is good. So we will step away likely one final time. When we come back. 6:14 left to go. A 54-12 advantage for the homestanding Rock Creek Mustangs here on our Salina Regional Game of the Week.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
And with that, we return here to the Rockin' St. George. Tyler Henry, Olivia Bergmeyer. I was correct. It was more of a hunch than anything, but Rock Creek, their only other performance of 50-plus this season, a 69-13 win over Hiawatha. That coming back in Week 6.
Must feel pretty good on the Rock Creek side to hit that 50-point hump on your first playoff game of the season.
Well, you talk about going into Week 2 of the playoffs with a little momentum.
They've got steam.
They're going to have that for sure, and like I said, they will need it because they are more than likely going to run into Wichita Collegiate, one of the top teams in Class 3A. First, they will kick it away here to the Fighting Irish, again with a 54-12 advantage. And Chapman looking for a little more late magic to put maybe one more score on the board. They will not get it from their special teams as they're pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line, and that's where the drive will begin for Chapman.
Not a bad position for Chapman to continue marching across the field like they have been this game, but they're still not giving up.
No, ma'am. And showing a lot of fight here, a lot of heart late in this game. Clay Center has officially rolled out to a 55-10 win over Clearwater. It's another opponent that these two teams have both gotten familiar with over the course of the year. Scott City defeats Smoky Valley 52-14. You see a lot of lopsided games in Week 9. It's just the nature of the beast, and this has certainly been one of those.
Definitely an exciting game at the same time, though.
Has been in spots as Kalen Groover's back on the field here. He'll take the snap under center. Looking to hand this off on the right side, and it will be a short gain. Continuing to work their way, or rather starting to work their way at the beginning of this drive into Rock Creek territory. For Rock Creek, regardless, this will be their final game at the Rock this year unless Concordia finds a way to pull off an unlikely comeback and upset. And good to see the seniors with one final chance to play in front of this home crowd. They turned out in good numbers today to watch this one.
They did, yes. Even on a cold night like this, we've dropped down to 40 degrees. There's still fans here.
Absolutely. even in a big blowout, as a handoff goes to the outside, there's still plenty of space here, and finally wrapped up and brought down at about the 45-yard line, crossing over into Chapman territory.
It's good play by his teammates there, opening up the field for him to just march on down the field.
It's a good start to the drive for this Chapman team. Again, right now you see some of the second unit out there on the field getting some experience for Rock Creek, but credit to Chapman not giving up here late and trying to get maybe one more score on the board. Already a touchdown here in the second half.
Definitely not going to go easy on the second team.
First down and 10 from the 48-yard line. Final 5 minutes here in this one. They will give this up the middle. Boy, plenty of room there. Still breaking tackles into the second level. Brecken Francis lights it up. It's another run for a first down. It'll get him down to the 28-yard line. And it's another big gainer here with 4:53 left to go.
Francis saw that seam, and he definitely took every advantage of it.
Good blocking up front there, though. You see the line really continuing to get a push. Those guys have to be exhausted at this point in the evening.
I would be. I can imagine.
Another final for you here. Southeast of Saline defeats Chaparral 56-7. So the Trojans, ranked as the number 3 team in Class 2A, moving on next week, likely to face Kingman. Here, it's a first down and 10. It's another give up the middle. Again, it is carried by Brecken Francis, and again, he will find 6 yards and keep the drive moving here for Chapman.
These are the type of plays this team has been looking for all game.
Still taking their time to get the play call in here are the Irish. And they will line it up and get going here. Second down and 4. A couple of new pieces coming in here for the Fighting Irish as well, as they will hand this off, and it will be another first down collected by DeWeese, the new back in there for the Irish. Again, on the post-game show, we'll be sure to get you more scores on our area scoreboard. But for now, it's a first down and 10. It's another give off the left guard to DeWeese, this time going nowhere as we've reached the final 3 minutes of this one.
Looks like they're switching up a few guys from the sideline.
Yep, getting some younger players in there, and again, getting them some varsity playoff experience here in Week 9.
I mean, that's valuable experience to take into your junior and senior years, especially.
Absolutely. Even a couple of freshmen I see out there stepping in now as Groover will duck back under center. Remember, Groover only a sophomore. He'll toss this to Cooper Lewis on the far sideline. Lewis cuts it back up, and he is going to be awfully close to the goal line. I think they're going to mark him down at the 4. But that's a good carry, and it will set up first down and short yardage. And now you see Chapman trying to get one more score in. Rock Creek's secondary defensive unit trying to hold for one more big stop. Again, just 2:05 left to go. Clock continues to run here. Finals continue to come in. Again, we'll get you all of those on the post-game show. Final 2 minutes. Handoff right side, and one final touchdown. The exclamation point from 2 yards out, as Chapman is able to cut into that deficit, one would imagine, one final time. And it is, in fact, a 2-yard touchdown run. Here late for the Irish. Now a chance, I would imagine, to go for 2. They still, to this point, have not tried a PAT all season. I can't imagine now would be the first time, although you never know.
There's a first time for everything.
Certainly is. They tried a field goal, and wow, look at this. I stand corrected.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen a lot of firsts this game, so why not one more?
It's going to be the first PAT try of the entire season for Ben Griffiths. Came into this game without an attempted field goal or an attempted PAT. The kick is up, and it is no good. Boy, it had more than enough, but just not able to split the wickets, and it remains a 54-18 ball game. We'll step away one final time, but when we come back, the final minute 49 of this one here on the Salina Regional Game of the Week.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
And with that, we are back here from the Rock. Tyler Henry, Olivia Bergmeyer, 149 left to go here, and this one would imagine it'll just be victory formation for the Rock Creek Mustangs, and well-deserved at this point. Again, you take a look back, they scored 4 defensive touchdowns in this game. They led 26-0 at the end of the first quarter. They took a 40-6 lead into half, and they have continued to hold Chapman out at arm's length throughout the entirety of the second half.
They have, and seeing both the offense and defense contribute to that board score has been an interesting game, especially in Week 9.
Again, on the post-game show, we'll have finals for you as we've tried to pass some of those along throughout the course of the afternoon. We'll have a few more for you trickling in before all said and done. But first, it's one final chance at a return here for Rock Creek, although I'd imagine probably not going to be trying too hard on this. As Chapman gets one final piece back out there. It's the headhunter on the near side. And not fully ready, as I don't know if that was an onside try, but Chapman might have just gotten back onto that. As Rock Creek, that was about the most lackadaisical return I've ever seen. And, okay, Rock Creek will keep it. Wouldn't call it a disaster at this point in the game, but again, the little things you tuck in the back of your mind as a head coach that you might want to address after this one.
Definitely the notes to bring to the post-game meeting.
So like I said, Rock Creek will put the offense on the field one final time, and really quickly, one final we do want to let you know about. Wichita Collegiate rolls to a win over Concordia 49-7. They will face Rock Creek next week. That game will be held down in Wichita. And that should be a good one.
That should be, especially two really competitive teams going head-to-head after massive wins the week before. We'll have to see how that plays out.
It's one of those situations where you think you know what's going to happen. You look at the bracket, you start to see some of this coming, but sometimes you get what you expect and sometimes you don't. Really quickly, the fumble was recovered by Chapman. It looked for a second. They motioned. You saw the referee signal like Rock Creek had the football, but they talked it over. They did get the call right. Chapman does have it, and they are going to commit a false start and back themselves up here on first down with just a minute 43 left to go. El Saline gets a 48-0 victory over Quinter down in 8-man. Big one for a Cardinals team, still making the adjustment to 8-man football from 11-man a few years back. Here it's first down and 15 for the Chapman offense. Still trying to make a little something happen. They'll hand this off up the middle. It'll be a gain of maybe 3. And no more as the clock will continue to run. And time for 1, maybe 2 more plays.
The Rock Creek defense will not let up. They will stack that box and make sure to keep the Chapman offense at that line.
Done a good job here. Has the second unit for the most part. 2 of the 3 Chapman touchdowns in this game coming here in the second half. A couple of other finals to pass along to you here. Mentioned before, Andale defeats Hugoton 46-0. That's one to watch in Class 3A. Hutch Trinity knocks off Plainville 25-6. here. Second down and 12. And another give. They try to go up the middle. There's just not a lot there. And we've now entered the final minute of this one. Chapman does technically have time for one more play. 30 seconds to go if they want to run it. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them come up and try one final time, but more than likely this is going to be the end of it one way or another. They do not have to run another play if they don't want to, and here they come. We'll see if they actually run something with 14 seconds left to go in the ballgame. 3rd down and 12 should be the last play of the game. And the snap's going to be fumbled. They will scoop it up. They'll try to surge ahead. But that will bring us to the end of the game. And the Rock Creek Mustangs will roll to the round of 16. Your final from the Rock, 54-18. Rock Creek gets the victory over the Chapman Fighting Irish. We'll step away, but when we come back, it's the post-game report here on the Salina Regional Game of the Week.
Your next visit to the doctor for an upcoming procedure or surgery should start with a conversation about Salina Surgical Hospital. Hi, this is Geraldine Diedrich, and we are truly committed to fostering your health and well-being. From outpatient procedures to inpatient stays, you will feel the difference in our excellent care and compassion. Talk to your doctor about scheduling your next procedure at Salina Surgical Hospital. Your surgical experience is our specialty. Salina Surgical Hospital is partially owned by a group of local, community-involved physicians.
Fall is full of great activities that keep us on the road. When you return to home sweet home, your sewer backing up into the house is the last thing you want to find. Now is the time to dial up Salina Septic Service and their 24-hour service. They will find the problem, fix the problem, and prevent future problems with the Septic Plus Protection Club. Special pricing and worry-free maintenance. Salina Septic Service, taking care of you now and preventing septic problems in the future. Find them online at salinasepticservice.com.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
Well, with that, I want to welcome you back inside of the Rock here one final time. Tyler Henry, Olivia Bergmeyer here to put the finishing touches on a 54-18 win for Rock Creek. This one was never in doubt. Again, most of the damage done in the first half, a lot of the damage done in the first quarter. Rock Creek going into quarter number 2 held a 26-0 lead. Going into halftime, they held a 40-6 lead. They would not relinquish it, and they did that on the strength of 4 defensive touchdowns. Again, one of the craziest stat lines you will see across the state of Kansas today, and all 4 of those defensive touchdowns came in the first half. Plenty of finals to talk about. Let's go ahead and get into it on our Salina Surgical Hospital scoreboard. I know we gave you a couple of these earlier. We've got some new finals coming in, including Great Bend pulling the upset of Salina Central. They knock off the Mustangs 38-24 tonight. A tough one for both Salina schools as Salina South falls to Cape and Mount Carmel 63-7. Ellsworth defeats Haven 42-0. Here again, Rock Creek gets the win 54-18. They will play Wichita Collegiate next week as the Trojans knocked off Concordia 49-7. Down in 1A, Marion defeated Wabunzi 54-14. At last check, Beloit was up 24-0 on Lakin. Southeast of Saline knocks off Chaparral 50-0, and an 8-man El Saline defeats Quinter 48-0. Those are your scores on our Salina Surgical Hospital area scoreboard, and now it's time for a couple of post-game awards to be given out, and let's start with our Salina Pain Clinic hit of the game, and I think there's only one answer for this. It was Ezra Spiller who came up and filled the hole Easily the hardest hit of the night. He jarred the ball loose. It was scooped up by Eli Bell, who took it 60 yards the other way for the first of 4 defensive touchdowns for the Rock Creek Mustangs. And for that reason, Ezra Spiller gets our hit of the game, again presented by our friends at Salina Pain Clinic. The Smart Play of the Game, brought to you by Smart Insurance with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. It's got to be Cade Welfringer. For a defensive end, he sure doesn't have the stat line. 3 interceptions on the season, 3 defensive touchdowns. He came up with a pick 6, really read the eyes of Kalen Groover, jumped the route, picked it off, and took it to the house for the first of 2 pick 6s in this game. And for that, Cade Welfringer collects tonight's Smart Play of the Game, again brought to you by our friends at Smart Insurance, locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. That'll just about do it for us. Again, Rock Creek gets the victory. They move on to play Wichita Collegiate next week. But one final time for Tyler Henry, for Olivia Bergmeyer, the Rock Creek Mustangs take the victory, and they do it here at home by a final score of 54-18. You caught it right here on the Salina Regional Game of the Week.
This has been a presentation of your Game of the Week, presented by Eagle Communications and Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.